we go again.
Shush. It's been a day. Leave me alone. Let's see, Discord. Give me a second. Y'all can talk now if you want.
Wouldn't we be muted too?
No, not
I had to mute
anymore.
myself or else I was getting echo.
Not anymore.
Oh, they hear us. All right. They can hear us. All right, we're good then.
Yeah, we're good. I think we're good. Are we
Nate,
good? Are we good? Hush, leave me alone. Leave me alone. Be gentle. It's my first time.
Oh, I hear you, Nate. I turned mine on for a second.
I did my whole intro spill and I was muted the whole time.
Oh. I've done that so many times.
I hate that so much. Hi guys, how we doing? Welcome on in. Happy Thursday. These bozos have to hear that for the second time today. Like, didn't you just do that? I'm dumb.
Buddy.
So, Assassin's Creed.
I am the hype!
There's a sister. Y'all can't hear the hype, but I can. Still cooking? Yeah.
Hey
Alright.
there, Bella. If she could hear me.
Hey, Nick. She should be able to hear you.
Okay, good.
What are we guessing?
Said, guess what? What's up?
I don't want to guess. Just tell me. But yeah, Assassin's Creed. To me, I think it's one of the biggest video game franchises out there.
Would agree with
Bro,
that.
excuse me. You starting this now? Diz. Thanks for the sub, buddy.
Nice subbing.
And that's a bean. So while we're doing this, is the only one without a beard. Yeah. Big 8, what you got?
Eat the bean.
Look, I shaved mine the other day. I'm very sorry.
Yeah,
It was a rough time.
son of a. Nope, not touching it.
As I say, I really like the overlay.
Yeah.
Really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, Assassin's Creed make all the money. Didn't they have that report that Valhalla just made like $1 billion or something?
Oh, I believe it. Man. No, I'm not touching it. But anyway. So what would you guys say is your first memory of Assassin's Creed? Like, when do you first remember, like, hearing about it, seeing it? What's your first... That looks cool. Or, what is that?
Ooh, the first memory? So I remember mine. I had to think on it, and then I remembered it. It was actually not too long after the first one came out. And I was a young wee lad, so we were, I don't know, middle school,
Ooh,
maybe
young
getting into
wee lad.
high school.
Right.
And it was awesome. Like, one of my friends had the 360, had the first game on there. We all were over there one weekend, and it was just like, what is that? And I need to play it. And then so we all took turns playing it until someone died, and then you would pass the controller on.
So every 5 minutes, got it.
Hey, the blocking in those old ones was something else, man. Block, parry. But no, it was a good memory. It's one of my favorite things ever, and it really opened my love for the series, truly. Like, and then 2 happened, but
And 2
My
happened, and
very-
just blew everything out of the water.
First memory of Assassin's Creed was it was a time when I was dating my wife, and the first one was just coming out. And I was talking about that with also her sister, and her dad was there too. And her dad immediately told us to shut up about that game because he did not like the fact that Knights Templars were being killed in it because he's a Knights Templar himself.
Oh.
So he said, I don't want to hear anything else about it. So that's my first memory of it.
Oh,
But,
wow.
As you can see now, I'm a huge fan of Assassin's Creed. He could go fuck himself.
I mean, you're
don't
only
care.
currently streaming through the whole franchise right now, so...
It's like, it's a fictional world. I mean, come on. But yeah, he took it personal. course, he takes everything personal.
It even has that disclaimer in it at the beginning. Like,
Yeah, I know.
Don't take
But
this
he still
seriously.
won't.
You're uptight.
No, I'll probably go ahead and set the scene. I was 2013, right? I think it was. I have notes that say that anyway. I was 18 years old, working fast food, first job. Just got, a couple paychecks in there, and I remember seeing commercials for Assassin's Creed, and I was like, "Oh my god, I have to play this." I guess coming up as a Metal Gear fan, stealth has always kind of intrigued me. So this was the hide in plain sight kind of stealth. So I remember going to, and I believe it was EB Games at the time, picking it up and probably
Was that Unity?
yeah. What's that?
Or was it Rogue?
2013.
Well,
Those are the same year. I think it was Syndicate, wasn't it?
Sorry, it's 2007. I had the wrong news then. My bad. 2007. Sorry.
Oh, I was like-
2007? Yeah, that
It was.
sounds
It was.
about right.
It was the very first Assassin's Creed. My bad. I wrote down the wrong date. 2007. I was 18, and then I remember picking it up probably sometime in the afternoon when I had woken up, because when you're 18, you sleep in until like 12 in the afternoon.
Right?
And I probably picked it up around 3, 4, and I don't even remember what time I went to bed. I just remember staying up most of the night, probably 3 or 4 in the morning, just absolutely killing it. But no, it was fantastic memories of that game.
I remember going to a friend's house one day. Like, there was a bunch of us hanging out, and like one of them had the poster of the first one on the wall, and it was right when the first game was coming out. And I was like, "What is that game?" He said, "It's called Assassin's Creed." Is it? And at the time, I didn't have a 360. I only had a PS2 and an Xbox. And I was like, "Is that coming to PS2 and Xbox?" No, it's just 360. Man, that looks so cool. I want to play it, but I can't. That year, I got an Xbox for Christmas, and I got Assassin's Creed with it. And immediately, like, I loved, like, I thought it was really cool. Like, the idea of going into a machine and living someone else's memories. I always thought that was cool, but as far as, like, the gameplay overall, I was like, this is okay. It's fun. And then 2 came out, and that just blew everything out of the water. So, but yeah.
No, 2 that was good there. I remember, and this was like after we had beaten it, or that I had no clue that you could unlock the killing innocents in it from beating it, and like I was so enthralled when I found that. I was like, oh, no more penalties.
You mean I can just go around and, like, stop begging for money, stab. So here's a fun one. What's your favorite game?
Ooh.
I have to split this into 2. Nostalgia, Brotherhood. That was my favorite. But after playing seeing scenes of Valhalla and Unity, and actually playing Origins, I have to say I probably really will like Odyssey, given the chance when I get to that point of actually playing it. But right now, I really do like Origins. I just love the whole RPG element. I love how they added in all these skills you can do. I love the fact they added in bow and arrow. I love how it's just in the more open world elements of it, because it's not like just running around a street and just running up to a certain checkpoint. There's all sorts of things you can do. You can run around and just tack all the points of interest in the map and not even do any of the missions. But that's what I just love about it. It's just so much more open world for you to. Yeah, it's just.
I mean,
But
you're not wrong.
Brotherhood will be my
I think
nostalgia.
Brotherhood
though.
holds a special place in everyone's heart just because it, like, rebuilding Rome
Yeah,
was
it
always
the
such a
start.
fun concept.
It was the start of you taking out bases. Like when you go in and you have to clear out like the Borgia captain. So that's the start of when Assassin's Creed started to have more of a. You can actually change how the city's like.
I don't know if you got into it yet, but Black Flag
I haven't got to that yet.
is, well, I don't know if you've played it before this point,
No, I just watched some of you playing and I watched some
but
scenes.
Black Flag will always be one of my favorites. And now that I know that Matt Ryan voices him, like, it's even better for me.
Yeah, buddy.
But unfortunately, Black Flag was also like the ending point for me because because I never played Rogue and I never played Unity, and I never played Syndicate because they just kind of felt the same to me after a while. But Origins, the change of gameplay that Origins introduced to the franchise, like, just revitalized my love of Assassin's Creed. But Odyssey took it to a whole new level. But at the same time, it kind of came to a grinding halt because of how grindy it is for the levels and the numbers. Valhalla is my favorite. Valhalla is my favorite. I don't think I sunk that many hours into a single playthrough of a game my entire life. I'm currently at like 147. And that's in one single playthrough.
Yeah, I guess I'll ask you because Valhalla was the one that I couldn't stay into. It's the one where the story just didn't quite mesh with me. I guess when you get farther into the story, does it ever pick up at any point? Because I probably got maybe 40% through. Does it ever pick up past that point?
Yeah. I mean, obviously, I don't want to spoil anything.
It's been out for a year. Go ahead.
Yeah. Well, I know, like, Battle wants to play it at some point. I'm sure he doesn't want to get spoiled for it.
Yeah, I got you.
So I'm trying not to. But things do get a little crazy. I can kind of see why the story can feel a little bland.
All right.
But just how open the world is and how vast it is, and just the setting and the era.
Right.
The level up system
Nate loves
for me.
Vikings.
Nate is a Viking, but
Nate is a Viking.
I mean, he's got
That beard is definitely a Viking.
No. Venom's got the superior beard here. Venom's
Okay,
got
well,
the superior
Venom and Nate
beard
are both
here.
Vikings.
But, no game is perfect, aside from Horizon Zero Dawn and Forbidden West, but we're not talking about those right now.
Yeah.
But I'd be curious, Venom, like, when you were doing that, was it like, hey, I'm going to go do every little thing, or was it the main story too? Because some people just blasted through it and ignored half of the side stuff.
So I typically, when I play an Assassin's Creed game like that, I did it with Odyssey. And that'll be my answer to this question, would be Odyssey. But in Valhalla, I like to do a little bit of everything. In any Assassin's Creed game I have to go through and get all the synchronization points. I like to unlock the map so I can see where I'm going. So as I was playing the story, I would spur off and do side things as well. And as I would come back to the story, I never really felt like I got that reward from it. It just kind of felt like Vikings invading an area, and I won't spoil anything either, but like Vikings invading an area, and the story never really kind of meshed together for me. It was just I was doing things, but to no avail to like a storyline for me. So I'm not sure. I quit probably a little bit less than halfway through. It may have picked up past that point, but I think early game I could have been.
Yeah, I can kind of see it in early game.
Yeah.
I will also say I haven't played like the main story since I played through it. So back in like 2019. So it's been a while.
Yeah, be curious to see if Nate goes through it again. Oh man, this wasn't good as I thought it was. But hey, you still got what?
Don't you put that evil on me.
You got what? 140 hours now, and you got 40 more on the way.
Yeah, 40 plus coming on. But yeah, that's the reason I wanted to do this night, was because the Dawn of Ragnarok expansion is now out, and I was going to start that tonight, but your boy's broke. And
it's supposed to be the start of a new. Is it? I think they qualified that as technically it could have been its own game, but they made it a DLC. Was that right?
It's an expansion that is 35 plus hours of content.
Okay.
And I think it's just like a DLC. You have to have Valhalla to play it.
Yeah.
But it could have and should have been its own thing, I think.
Yeah. But, not to get super into anything spoily, but isn't it primarily just like the Odin half of it, or have they even said yet? Because that,
from what I can tell, it's just it's just that. It's just like
that stuff was a slog for me to get through in the actual
It really
game.
was, which we're going to change around some of these questions because I really want to dive into this. One of my least favorite parts of Assassin's Creed is the modern day storytelling.
I get that too.
I understand like the importance of like Desmond in the early games up until 3, but or did his story end at Revelations? I can't remember.
3 technically, then 4 for like Aftermath. We're past the spoiler points on that.
Yeah.
So.
But I just, especially in the first one, like coming out like every 20 minutes, like it just the modern day storytelling really brings the excitement to a halt every time you're playing it. Like, yeah, this is so much fun. This is so what?
Yeah.
I'm doing this again. And now that it's just, I hate it. I hate it. And I think they know that. I see a hydrate.
I see a hydrate too.
That's a hydrate. But you know, I can kind of.
Y'all have to.
Oh, everyone has a hydrate.
Oh, okay.
Everyone has a
Everybody.
hydrate.
Those are the rules.
Anytime someone is joining me on my stream, someone redeems a hydrate. Everyone hydrates.
Got it.
But
No, but I get that. I get that aspect of it too, Nate. It was very taxing in the earlier
because you
games.
look at all like the marketing, you know, like everyone wants to play like the era of the Assassin's Creed game that's coming out. No one cares about the modern day stuff. And not to spoil anything, but I feel like they try too hard with like what they're doing now. With like the direction they're taking it with Valhalla.
It was a direction,
Okay.
all right.
As somebody once said, it's like they had the whole modern thing for the first 3, but then they didn't know what to do with it.
Exactly. So they should have just left it alone.
Yeah.
Because
But then,
you could easily
But how do
have
you get
made.
the Adamus in it? Because that's like the whole process of it, and the memory, the clusters, and the memory sequences.
But you could have easily made the Assassin's Creed franchise without the modern day storytelling. You could have made it without the Animus.
There's
It's-
one thing. Go ahead, Nate.
Like you could have made it with all the like the history stuff. Just kind of be like, okay, so we're following the Assassins versus the Templars, and it's like, okay, so this is what happened in this era. This is what happened in this era. We don't need the modern day stuff. It's just extra fluff.
It almost seemed like they put it in to try to reiterate how it fit in different cycles of time. It really had no content to the game itself other than reliving the memory.
Yeah.
Or why you were going into a mission or why you were doing this. But in terms of connecting the dots, I think they could have let the player do that themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah. They did tie it in though, like Venom said, you always had a purpose for it. Like, you know, and the first one was like, hey, we need to go see where these apples of Eden are. It's always an apple of Eden. Where was it? Who had it? But the one thing I will say is that up until 3, that modern day story piece was pretty solid for me personally.
It got better
kinda
at 2 on.
It did.
In the
and
Ezio
then-
trilogy, it got a lot better. I will give it that. But still, it was unnecessary.
Oh yeah, no, it was definitely its own thing. But the part that really aggravated me, and they didn't really fix it now, is that, you know, after Desmond got wrapped up, and then -4, because they explained that, are like, anybody can just use the Animus now. Go to any of these memories. That was the part that really took me out of it for that portion.
Yeah.
Because like it took out, you know, that's why Desmond was significant. It was his ancestors.
And now it's
just
just, I mean, granted, in like Origins, Odyssey, and Valhalla, they're following what's her face,
they are. Mm-hmm.
and it's a little bit better, but still kind of unnecessary. You could easily write the story without that.
Yeah.
I agree.
Well, part of that story, and I'm not going to spoil anything, and Odyssey got a bit.
That's what I'm saying. Like they make it relevant in Valhalla, but we're not going to say how.
Yeah.
Which that is interesting, but after what 13 games, you're finally doing this. It's like, whatever.
Yep.
Interesting how in Odyssey and in Valhalla, that whatever object they're using for the DNA always seems to have 2 different types of DNA, a male or a female. No matter what, there's 2 types of DNA on it.
And I think in Valhalla you can swap per load.
Oh, you can?
I think you can swap between like male and female Eivor.
Oh,
Can you?
wow.
I think that's what they said when the game was announced, but once the game came out, no one cared.
Yeah. Well, that was with like Valhalla. It was the singular character, but you know, like with Odyssey, it literally was two different characters.
Yeah.
That was an interesting
I
aspect
love the
of it.
story, but it's just so hard to get through because of how grind heavy it is. Like the farther into the game you get, like the more the numbers matter, and it's like I'm level 37 right now, and it's a slugfest just to get through it.
Yeah. Speaking of that,
Yeah,
What? Go ahead.
No,
I thought somebody was going to say. I was going to say. Speaking of that, things since we're on topic of it, it was like things we didn't like or disliked about it. Basically, the biggest change I hated, and I'm glad they brought back in Valhalla, is the one shot with the hidden blade. That was such a downplay in Origins and Odyssey. It's like I go through this base, do all this stuff, do the hidden blade up. It didn't insta kill him, you know. And then you like it took that.
It's like what? But
Yeah, no, that took it out of me. I turned that on immediately in Valhalla.
like yeah. I don't remember if I did. I don't remember if I did or not. But so who? I mean, there's a variety of different assassins. Which one's your favorite?
Ezio.
Altair.
Altair. I mean, just only because he. Okay, so the whole assassin mentality is shrouded and cloaked in mystery, and you know almost nothing about Altair, which makes him the most interesting to me. In terms of content that they could do in the future, which is one of your later questions I'll get into at that point in time, but just the whole shrouded in mystery and what he brings to the table, his impact on every game moving forward, whether it be a collectible outfit or information gathered by him, radiates through the entire series. Where I don't think
his outfit is in Valhalla.
Yeah,
You can wear Altair's outfit in Valhalla.
Yeah, there's no character. I mean, besides getting the Ezio stuff because he's got his own 3 games, but
Yeah, it'll show off.
he's always been the most iconic across the board character, I would say.
Actually, I want to change mine into 2. Ezio, and the other one's not really, can't really call her an assassin, but Cassandra.
That's fair.
I just love her attitude.
Cassandra is easily my favorite. Her and Eivor. But Edward Kenway.
Kenway, okay. Edward, okay.
Yeah.
Question for you guys to help me out. I've never played any Assassin's Creed. Which game should I start with? You can start with Origins.
Yeah, I mean, if you hear about the story,
But
you
if
can-
you want to play
Just
through...
ignore the modern parts with it and just play it as start with Origins or with Odyssey.
It depends on which style you want to play. Like, if you want to play like the classic style, start with 2. Do not touch 1. like, I will give the game props. Like, it started something massive.
Oh yeah, that
Like, it,
Yeah.
like, what it started is so significant. But the game itself is so bad to revisit. The
Like, why
dialogue,
can't he
the
swim?
gameplay.
why can't he swim? LTR is just like he can't swim. It's just like the
He's hydrophobic.
water's
He's afraid of water. You don't judge
what was
him.
the first one you could swim?
2.
too.
2, was it 2? Yeah, okay. that's
One,
fine.
it's water's. It has that trope of water's lava.
I was about to say water's lava.
I had that one mission where you had to kill that guy on the boat. I redone that mission 20 times because they always kept getting knocked into the water. Or LTR decides well, he just wants to yeet himself off the side of the pier and right into the water. I just push jump and he just jumps right in.
He's afraid of water. Give him some.
If he's afraid of water, then why did he jump into the water?
He tried
He
to
makes
stab you the
questionable life
water.
choices. You you can't hold that against him.
Yes, Strix, you can start with your Egyptian love, please.
Do it. Altair wants to learn the love of water.
Become one with the water. No. But as far as favorites go, that was a tough one for me too. It's gonna be Ezio probably for me. Like that's just how it goes. I mean, there's some ones later down the line, but if I had a close second, it would be Bayek, and he started the thing. Like his story playing through that was amazing in
He
Origins.
had one of the biggest heartbreak moments I've seen in Assassin's Creed. Second only to Ezio.
Yes.
Oh, absolutely.
Second only to Ezio, but
I still stand by he deserves another game at least.
I tell you, in Origins, when that scene happened where you see his son get killed, I was just like, oh,
yeah,
did they really show that on? Did they actually have that in the game?
yeah, that happened.
And they show it too. They didn't just have him have his reaction. They show the kid hitting the ground, and I'm just like, okay.
There was
And I
another
can see
thing
why
that
Bayek has
happened-
that kind of that attitude in the beginning, how basically nothing mattered to him. He had this just scowl on his face in the beginning of the game. I was
Yeah.
just wondering, what the hell happened to you?
Mm-hmm.
You will not ask that question. But that's one thing I love about these games. Like, they're not afraid to like dip into the emotional side of things. When I first played through that moment in Odyssey, I had to stop playing right then and there. And I'm not going to say what it is because I don't want to spoil it.
I know.
I know what you're talking about.
When that
probably.
happened, it
I know.
hurt. It hurt to watch that, and I was like, I want to kill everyone in this game to
That's
make
when
up for this.
Cassandra, the voice actress, really did a good job showing the grief in her voice.
Which will kind of take this in an interesting direction because of that. Who would you say is your favorite voice actor for like a main line assassin? Because one of mine is definitely the girl who voiced Cassandra because of that scene.
Same here.
Because I went
guy-
back and rewatched that scene with like the male, with
Emos or whatever his name is.
yeah, I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but it's killing me.
Alexios.
Alexios. I went back and watched it with him, and it was just not as impactful as Cassandra. Like, his delivery was just kind of flat. But obviously, the guy who I know his name, but I can't like say it. Like Robin Dow's, the voice of Ezio, does a really good job. I like, I really, really like Matt Ryan as Edward Kenway, but I'm kind of biased there because of Constantine. Like,
I think if you're gonna have a character name, I guess a character voice be like the synopsis of an entire series. I think you're right. I think Ezio would be the guy to, if you were to narrate the entire series as a whole.
Because
I
I'm
think he'd
sorry,
be really
I cannot
He
hear the
did a-
words. I cannot hear Requiescat in pace without hearing Ezio say it.
He does such great Italian.
Yeah.
I don't know if he is Italian or not, but if he's not, then he did an excellent job with his Italian accent.
Yeah.
I'm right there with y'all. With the caveat of, and I know this is one of the newer ones, but I actually love Eivor's voice. Like,
See, I was gonna
it's
say
pretty good.
Eivor is kind of, as much as I love Valhalla and as much as I love Eivor. Wait, which Eivor?
What?
Which
Male
Eivor?
or female?
Male Eivor with his voice. It's
Okay, I
just-
didn't know if you played as male or
pretty-
female because to me, I feel like male Eivor is just kind of bland,
really?
like monotone, like flat in all his deliveries.
I don't know. I thought some of the emotional stuff was pretty
Like,
good, voice acted wise.
Like, it just feels like he just speaks in the same tone, like in every situation. And I haven't heard anything with female Eivor, so I can't tell you anything about that.
But I'm in agreement with everybody else pretty much. That Ezio is
And
the
I'm also going
voice.
to throw this one out there for you, Bayek's actor.
Hmm?
Because of that scene with his son and his delivery of like the emotion when his son was stabbed. Like, that was really good. I felt so bad because no one's mentioned Rogue yet. No one's mentioned Unity. No one's mentioned Syndicate.
Oh, there's a
the idea
reason
of
for
killing-
that.
Yeah, I like the idea of
Rogue,
killing his
Syndicate,
past.
and Unity are the three that I have practically no.
I haven't played Rogue
knowledge
or
on.
Unity yet. Let me tell you about Syndicate. So, like I said, I stopped playing at Black Flag. And because, one, I didn't have the system at the time, like for PS4. Even though Rogue came out on PS3 and 360, I didn't get it because I was kind of burnt out after Black Flag. So, I never played Rogue, I never played Unity, and I never played Syndicate. But when Origins came out, like, it grabbed me 100%. So I got it, and I played through like from start to finish. Obviously, I didn't 100% it because I'm lazy. So it kind of reignited my love of the franchise. So I wanted to go back and play Syndicate. Well, I wanted to go back and play the games I missed. And I was told, don't worry about Rogue, don't worry about Unity, you don't need to play those, just play Syndicate. So I said, okay. Try not playing Assassin's Creed for like 6 years, and then playing the new style of gameplay, and then immediately going back to the old one, like the same day. I hear Syndicate is really good. I don't think it is, just because like my experience playing it, like from Origins back to Syndicate, was so weird and wonky. So
I think you catching it in the right. If you had caught it when it released, the whole industrial style London was actually a really cool setting.
And plus the co-op, not really co-op, but like the dynamic between the two brother and sister. You had two main characters.
The duality of the two, Jacob being super rash and brutal, and then Evie being more the assassin type you would traditionally play. So they kind of gave you a taste of both. Yeah. But I think had you had caught the game when it released, I think you'd have really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Sorry, Nate. I think I'm the one that told you, hey, go play this. It was awesome.
It was you and another friend of mine. I know that for a fact because it's her favorite game. It was her favorite Assassin's Creed at the time.
I'll tell you one of the most, well, I guess it's not really, it could be an unpopular opinion. Ever since they fixed Unity, it's actually good. Like,
I hear that.
It's good when they fixed it.
I hear too. That's why I'm
Unfortunately,
really looking forward to getting to it.
When it was launched, it was one of the biggest disasters in gaming.
Yeah, well, there's no denying that. And Arno is actually one of my favorite underrated assassins, honestly. Like, his whole story arc is really good.
That game and Rogue are the reasons I wanted to go back through the franchise. Well, that and because I wanted to revisit it. And now I'm practically banned from playing them on stream again. But I want to play Rogue and I want to play Unity just to get that story element of the characters.
Well, if you want the full story element, and this is just me telling you as a friend, play Rogue first, then Unity.
Oh, I know.
So that's what I should do. As soon as I finish Black Flag, go
basically
to Rogue.
just play them in release order.
Okay.
Well, they came out at the same time, I think.
Rogue came out a few months before, I think.
That's when they were That's when they were like releasing a new Assassin's Creed every single year. Then they finally slowed that down.
That's kind of why I got out of it.
They did.
It was becoming like Call of Duty.
There's a reason I don't play those. And it's not because it's repetitive every year. Give me a minute to catch on to that.
No. But I'm so glad they did not continue that idea from Rogue to Unity, because what was going to happen, they're like, hey, we're just going to release a last-gen game and a next-gen game every year, and that was not going to be...
Yeah, let's see. Rogue came out in... Oh my god, did they really come out at the same time?
Yes, because one was last gen and the other was current gen. I don't know if it was the same day.
November 14th on that. November 14th.
That's got to hydrate.
Yeah, I get the hydrate, Nate.
Ubisoft, what you doing?
No, because I was
Mama,
like,
thank you
there's
for the
no
hydrate.
way. It's like, there's no way they're going to start this money chain of, oh, you want last gen, you can play this.
I did not realize they came out basically on the same day. That is weird and bad marketing.
If I remember correctly, I think the Rogue only came out on 360. It was like it was the generational switch.
Yeah, it was 360 and PS3.
And then Unity had gotten on the next gen consoles. Yeah.
Which is they wanted the last gen. They wanted the previous gen to get their game, which I get, but at the same time, hold off Unity.
Yeah, what sucked, because if you wanted the full story element, like, you had to play Rogue first, then Unity, because, like, that was the one time I was like, oh, this is cool that they did that.
But from what I heard about Unity's release, like, with how buggy it was and how, like, messed up it was so bad.
It was.
They canceled the season pass for it. And everyone who pre-ordered the season pass and pre-ordered the game apparently got, like, a free Ubisoft game of their choice, including Far Cry 4.
I think they made the DLC for it free at one point. Eventually, just gave it away because of it.
I never played it, so I don't know what they got.
You gotta be the only
Yeah.
person on the planet who never actually got a hold of any of those bugs. When it released, Buddy and I played through the co-op stuff that we could do, and I played through the entire game. And
Which
never really
leads me
had
to
the
say,
issues.
that's the first game that has co-op.
Yeah, it was great. It's
And
awesome.
is it the only game that has co-op?
No,
Did Syndicate
Brotherhood
have
had
co-op?
it too, didn't it? Like back in the day.
I think
was
it
like
had
old-
multiplayer. It had
Multiplayer, yeah.
multiplayer, but not co-op.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it wasn't co-op like in the sense of co-op was. It was like you had to go to the online mission and go do something, or
You
like
could
is
go
it?
to you could essentially meet up at a mission point and get like a small area of the map to play in. And there was a couple of missions where you
Yeah.
could kind of grind for XP and money to go and level up your gear or buy new gear. And it would give you the opportunity to. I remember a mission specifically where you would jump into a mansion and you had to eliminate everyone inside the mansion because they were all Templar related. And
Yep.
it would take you about 30 minutes. I think a buddy and I narrowed it down to about 10, where you could just grind it. But it was cool being able to do that as a co-op. You would take left house, I
Oh
would
yeah.
take right house, and we would just meet in the middle. It was awesome.
That sounds
Yeah.
fun.
He did. Arno did have one of my favorite weapons though. The what was that thing called? I don't remember what it's called, but the little arrow, the
I will
bow and arrow
consult the
thing.
guide. I will consult the guide.
Consult the guide. I can't remember what that dang
I will
thing was
consult
called.
the guide.
But it was pretty cool because it.
Let's see. Does this have weapons or is it just? Let's see.
We could probably easily look it up too. but-
62. 62. 62. 62.
But just like his whole overarching story was really good. I mean, it was kind of edgy-os in a way.
Okay,
for
I feel
some
like I
of
just
it.
got spoiled on something. Thanks, but
Well, you get spoiled on it. It's from 2014, Nate. No, I'm kidding.
right. Well, when I say I know nothing of Unity, I know nothing of Unity.
Oh,
I don't know
then
anything about the game.
You probably shouldn't look at the guidebook. Then for Unity.
I shouldn't have because it has to do with Elise.
Oh yeah, that. Ignore that.
I can't. It was the first sentence I read, and now I'm really upset.
Well,
Don't
cats,
tell me.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just looking to
Okay.
see if there's a sword, and there's nothing about his weapon. There's nothing about his weapon, and honestly, just the way this book.
I hated that final
It's-
fight. This isn't spoiler or anything, but Venom, did you have any issues with that fight? I hated stupid lightning sword man. I don't remember what he was called though.
Yeah, he was a pain in the butt. The one where it exploded at the end.
Is
and
that
did
where
thing.
the Flash got their inspiration for that one boss fight?
I don't know. It annoyed
We ain't
the hell
talking
out
about
of
that
me.
crap. We'll roast that at a later date.
'Cause I was like, you're telling me I have to run around here with my regular swords, and he gets a damn sword that can shoot lightning? Like, come on, that's
Man,
not
this is
fair.
bullshit. Man, this is rigged.
It was a very un-Assassin's Creed like fight. It was kind of weird.
And Odyssey is any different?
But it's Greek mythology. You can kind of get
Yeah,
away
exactly.
with that aspect.
I mean, my
yeah.
favorite thing to do in Odyssey is just lure people to the cliff and just Sparta kick them off.
Kick 'em off.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
But so, what is your favorite era?
Odyssey. I've
Yeah.
always been a fan of Ancient Greek. I love Greek mythology. I love the old Greek, the Trojan War, the Persian War, everything. I love Greece.
It touched on all aspects of that too.
I don't
Anything
think
from
Oh, yeah.
anything will
Yeah.
top that. Like,
ancient heroes, monsters, creatures. It touched on all of it. It was fantastic.
Especially also the ship battles too.
Yeah.
The ramming and stuff. That's just top notch.
You could board the other ship and take their stuff and kill the captain, or
Oh
yeah, it's good stuff.
Or cleave it right in half.
hey, battle. Hey, battle.
Yeah.
The Minotaur.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Not the fearsome Minotaur.
Oh that
So
battle
when I
you
first
did.
encountered this thing, when I first encountered it, because it was on stream too, so that was great. I was like 12 levels lower than the Minotaur,
Oh no.
and I thusly just got my shit curb stomped. And I was like, I'm good. We're just gonna no.
No, that goaded you into doing it too. You were
I
first
was
saying, no, I'm not
I
gonna
was
do
like
it.
3 levels lower, and I was like, you know what? I got this. And you
got
know
it.
what? I had it. That was
Took you a
honestly,
few times, but you did good.
that was a fun fight. That was probably one of my favorite boss fights I've had in a while.
That was the one where you had to go into like the corridors and stuff, right?
like
It was
a
very
maze.
trippy. Yeah,
Maze.
There's like a
good.
maze.
And you had the troll guy, or not the trolling guy at the beginning. Is like, I'm the mighty Minotaur. Did you get to that part in
Yeah.
the story?
I think so.
Yeah.
It's like
uh,
you're what?
That first time when you were
Oh,
like
honey,
13.
sit down. Sorry, go
First
ahead.
time when you were like 13 levels below, you were like, no, I'm not going to do it. I want to walk away. And when I just start calling you chicken, she just
And I
turned
said,
around.
okay, and I fought it. And I was like,
Yeah.
I, no.
One of the trippiest fights in that game, and this it was the Medusa fight for me.
I haven't gotten there yet.
I've
And the
haven't
game is
seen
temporarily
that
on
before.
hold because I was trying to make room for the Valhalla expansion, but now it's not coming. So what
It's
I might,
not?
it's not coming for a while because I have purchases to make for 2 weeks from yesterday.
It'll be good though once you get to
So what? So I am going to bring back Odyssey at some point. I'm going to finish Odyssey on stream, and then I'm going to do the Valhalla expansion. That's going to be later on down the road, but it is coming this year. But yeah, I've got about $100 to drop on the subathon, and I can't afford an extra $40 on that. I can barely afford the 100 that I owe. I can't even afford the 100. But we're not talking about that right now. We're talking about Assassin's Creed. Favorite era, obviously Greek. You know, like Odyssey, perfect. I like the Valhalla stuff, but the way they handled like the Asgard element was a bit weird for me.
it was
More
a slug.
fantasy, like fantasy related. It seemed like.
I love, in other words, donate to this man so he can do things. I'm not
The
saying-
Asgard stuff was just such a slug for me. I didn't even do those till after the main game in Valhalla when I did it.
Oh, that's what I did too. You have to love Black Flag though.
That's okay.
The way they did the pirate thing, like it didn't
Yeah.
feel like an Assassin's Creed game, which was to its benefit.
I heard it had great battle mechanics with the boat.
Did it introduce it, or was that 3?
3 did it, and then 4 like perfected it.
Yeah, and I don't think any game has done it better than 4. Even Origins, Odyssey, and Valhalla. To me, I think, well, hell, Valhalla doesn't even have it.
Yeah, which is
the only the only other one that would even come close would be Rogue because it was after 4, I think, right? Yeah, and it had it too, but it was pretty much the same at that point.
Yeah, but
Yeah, YouTube guy that watched Angry Joe, he says that he would love it.
I
to
can't
just
watch
make a
Angry Joe
pirate
anymore.
game.
I can't watch
I
that.
haven't watched him a long time.
He pissed me
but,
off.
But when Black Flag came out, he said if they just could make a pirate game just based after those boat mechanics.
Hey, that's
Excellent.
allegedly coming out at some point.
See,
We've been
what,
waiting
Skull and
for
Bones?
3 years
That was
now. Or
that was
how-
supposed that was supposed to come out like 4 years ago.
Hey, they said it's coming. They promise.
That's what they said 4 years ago, and that's still they got it. But that's okay. We can just play Sea of Thieves. Not.
See if things.
Which I actually hear is fun. Like I hear that game has picked up a lot.
I think it's better if you have people to play with.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
Yep.
But yeah, you know, like the way they established the way they did the pirates in Black Flag was really fun. And, like it was really good. Yeah, I to me like 1, 2, 3, not 3, 1, 2 Brotherhood and Revelations, like all like the Italy and Rome and Paris and all that stuff. Like it was fine, but it was just eh. And
I get that.
and same with like London and Syndicate. It was just okay to me.
True.
As
My
much as-
favorite thing was going through the towers as like Spider-Man with the grappling hook.
Yeah.
and as much as like we love Origins, but to me like Dakota, will you say it, please? I don't want to say it.
What? What do you want me to say?
What's the main thing that's in Origins? That is everywhere and rough, and coarse.
Oh, you
And
talking
irritating.
about you hate sand? All right, Anakin, I hear you.
I'm actually glad we're on the same page about that. I hate it. It's the only thing I hated about the map. It was so majority. It was big, but a majority of it was just wasted pieces of sand.
It
to
was
kinda make the
It was
map look
95% sand, and it's just like
I loved hanging around the Nile area because then it was lush and green. But when you get out into the sand area, it's just
and it
like,
introduced the snakes, and I was not okay with that.
and it was blinding too. If you're playing the game and it's like at high noon,
Yeah.
the game is you're just kind of like,
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
I got to turn down the gamma a little bit here.
The lighting of that game.
Hey, you
was
know
not
what
great.
though? Bayek was 1,000 years before Altair, but he could swim.
You're not wrong.
Yeah.
This man swam with crocodiles. Okay. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, he knew it. Maybe that's why Altair was so scared of the water.
Strix, why you do this to me? Strix, why you do this to me?
Snake.
And Bella, you know my stance on that. We'll talk. But because I troll, you are not wrong.
I love it.
So we're talking about like the favorite heiress and everything. What was your least favorite? I'll say mine 3.
3. I respect that.
Like, it was during, 3. I want to yeet 3 just out of existence. Can we do that, please? Can we just?
Well, wait till at least I play it first, and then you can eat it out. of
No, you
existence.
don't need to play that game. You don't need to play that game.
No,
You don't
no,
need to
I
play
need
that
to.
game.
No, I need to.
No, you
I
don't.
need to have complete
No,
story.
you don't.
Yes, I
No, you
do.
don't.
Hold on, Nate.
I
What
see how-
didn't you
yeah,
like
yeah.
about 3?
No, you don't. You don't need to play 3.
Well, what didn't you like about it?
The
I'm
main
curious
character.
Ah, you didn't like Connor?
No.
Yeah. Well,
He-
Everyone said that Connor was not it. A lot of people.
He's
there
a
were some
bigger
people said that-
crybaby than Anakin Skywalker.
Well, how some people said the reason why Connor did not mesh with a lot of people is because it's just right after Ezio.
Yeah, he
Connor
right.
came. If Connor came like maybe between Ezio
No.
and Altair, maybe
No.
people might have been a little bit with
No.
him, but
well, forgive me. It's been a while since I played 3, but I remember my biggest gripe with it, and maybe it was just because I was bad at the game then, is it was like a 8-hour opening of just Hytham or whatever.
Yeah.
And I was like, then it's like, oh, hey, here's the real game. Now it starts. And I was like,
Whoever
what?
created that opening sequence definitely played Kingdom Hearts 2. But
Yeah.
I hated Connor.
You're not wrong. Like, I'll pivot on that. That's my least favorite character too, is Connor.
I'm watching. Yeah. But it's just the sad thing is, like, it played really well. And the setting was interesting. But so I have ear damage now. Do I sue Nate?
Damn it.
Please don't. I'm a broke boy.
Don't sue him.
I'm a
Take
broke
him.
boy.
you can assume, but you won't gain anything out of it.
I am sorry. Don't get it.
No.
But,
3 and
yeah.
its DLC, the Tyranny of King Washington.
There was 2
Love
of those,
it.
weren't there? There was like a 2-parter. There was like the Rise of King Washington and the Tyranny or something in the fall.
Something like that. Yeah,
So it was 3.
It was a weird take on everything.
I have it because it was part of the Valhalla season pass. And yeah, if you get the Valhalla season pass, you get 3 remastered on PS4 or whatever system you get.
Oh, does that come with it?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll have to check that out because I bought that season pass not
Yeah,
too long
just
ago.
search Assassin's Creed 3 and it should come up. You should be okay.
Yeah, I think I had it anyway. I don't know. I bought the Rogue remaster too. It was that was probably one of my favorite underrated games when it came out. It was such a unique and different story. If you guys haven't played it yet,
Which one, 3?
no Rogue.
I feel so bad because we're doing this and I haven't played Rogue and Unity. I've played the others, but just
Unity, you're not missing out. It had a great story. It did. It's
then,
overarching.
then why are you telling me that? How are you gonna tell me I don't need to play it if it has a great story? I'm missing out on a great story.
Well, yes, no, okay, fine. You can play it. I was just saying a lot of people don't.
Oh,
like
thanks
to
for the
play
permission, Dad.
it. You're allowed to play it, son.
Yay, I can play the game now.
No, but no, Rogue was just so cool. Venom, you played Rogue, or I know Battle hasn't yet.
It's one of the only ones I skipped just solely for the fact I didn't like the idea of killing assassins.
Well, see, that was the thing that made it unique for me.
That
is like
is one
the
thing I
flip
want to
side
play
of the
because
coin.
I want to see the story behind that.
It was good. And the cool thing is, it ties in to a lot of the backstory for 3. So, like, they really tied it together there.
I'm laughing at the chat right now.
So you could technically play, was it Revelations, then Rogue, then 3? Like,
Oh, really? Oh. Yeah, because
Yeah.
doesn't Black Flag technically take place before 3? Because, spoiler, one of the characters is like his dad or something?
yeah, it takes place, yeah. I think we're past the spoiler point of that, unless any of you all haven't played it fully
I mean,
yet, but...
points to... How are we doing this? I don't know. Points to battle. Battle.
Point the other way, Nate. Point the other way. You know, but
Hey, about what?
Spoilers, sir. So, one thing I did like about 3, and I'm going to segue into this, is I kind of liked his outfit design.
okay.
I did think it looked pretty cool. It wasn't my favorite, but it looked... You want an unpopular opinion? I didn't like Ezio's outfit.
I thought it was okay.
Oh.
I didn't have an
You
issue.
sassy bitch.
Oh, Nate,
Oh no, you done did it, Nate.
I love the Brotherhood outfit. That's you.
No. What I did was I made him watch a movie the other day. Which we're getting to that later.
Oh my gosh.
Hold. We're getting to that. Just give it a
I
minute.
know.
Give it a few
Holding
minutes.
Oh,
We'll get there.
So it's gonna be. Did you watch it, Nate? Any recently? Because I guess it's gonna be freshest for battle. Because it's been a while since I watched it.
It's been a while since I've watched it too.
All right, good deal.
But we're not talking about the movie right now. But I remember.
Oh, yeah.
First you had my curiosity,
That being said, with the movie,
but now you have my erection.
I loved his outfit.
You mean your attention?
You all know what I'm about.
You can get his outfit in Origins, and that was the main outfit I used my entire
It
playthrough.
was in Origins. That's right.
And that's the main outfit I used. I don't know why, but it's a unique design. Like everything else is like primarily like white. His is brown.
No, that's good there.
So
is that like your overall favorite then?
I think so.
Yeah, that's cool.
Like Cassandra and Alexios didn't really have one. It was just like Spartan armor.
Yeah.
Which that's cool because it fits the era.
same with like Origins and Valhalla. You kind of could change what the armor looks like.
Yeah.
But I always liked Ezio's Brotherhood, especially when he gets the Romulus armor.
No, that's fair. No.
Yeah.
I also
Yeah.
like how you can start dyeing the colors of it and stuff where instead of
I
just being all
love
pure
that
white.
element of those games. It's
Yeah.
like I don't
So
want
cool.
just bland white. Give me some color. Is that
I always
blue?
do the
Is that
black
red?
and
Give me-
red.
Black and red.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Always
That
black
was
and
a good
red all the time.
one. That was a good one.
That's good. Favorite ones though. That's the key aspect of it. Again, another underrated one. I like Arno's outfit.
I'm just gonna cancel everything I'm playing, and I'm just after I finish Horizon, obviously because I'm not canceling that. I'll fight anybody. I'll add Rogue and Unity. I guess I have to play this.
I don't know. I'll be the boring old guy. I was cool with the simplistic version of Altair's. If we're
Yeah.
gonna talk, if
I'm
we're gonna
about
talk
to say,
classic, is the Altair. If we're gonna talk current, I really like the whole Spartan armor, just because again with that Greek mythology thing. I wasn't really
Absolutely.
into that part of it, but
I will say like Altair's outfit is better suited for like the era it was in.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't work in Valhalla.
right.
Because it's in Valhalla. I think you get Ezio's and Altair's in Valhalla. And it's just
Oh, I wore Ezio's in it. It was so weird. I was like, this
That-
doesn't fit.
like the white, like it doesn't fit like the Viking era for me. Now if it had been like the black and red one, gimme. And if how exactly do you say it? Aguilar? Is that how you say it? Battle?
Yeah.
Was it Aguilar? or Aguilar, something.
I know something like that. I think.
I've always said Aguilar.
Yeah, I know what
Right
you're
there.
talking about.
Sounds right to me.
There's a bunch of unique outfits, though.
Yeah.
I mean, like, they got more progressively odd as the games went on in the modern day era. Or not the modern day, but, like, once we were building up to, like, Revolutionary War and then, the Paris Revolution and all that. Because Jacob and Evie had some pretty classy outfits, too.
I will give them that. Yeah, I don't remember all the different options, but Aguilera.
What? Aguilar.
And
Yeah,
Trix,
well,
he's the main. Aguilar is the main character from the movie.
I'm on the opposite with that. That's the one thing I couldn't stand about Syndicate was the outfits. I didn't like
The
the
outfits.
whole black leather top hat feel. It was correct to the era, but in terms of you being like an assassin, trying to be under the radar, you're wearing black leather everywhere you go. I don't know.
Did you play the the Ripper DLC?
I thought that was a super neat add-on to be in like the lore of England, like the horror stories of England. I thought that was a really neat DLC.
I swear, the more we talk about this, the more I just want to bring the series back because I want to replay all these games and revisit.
You told me
everything.
not to replay them because of age. Remember?
I know, and that's
Yeah.
the reason I'm banned from
I
it.
mean,
Because
I
keep
didn't
raging.
listen. I didn't listen. And I've been having a lot of fun with Brotherhood
They're
lately.
they're fun. I will say
They
one
were
thing.
fun.
I don't know if yeah, they were fun, but having played Valhalla, Odyssey, Origins recently, and then I just started doing Rogue again the other day. Like going back to that control scheme, it took me a hot minute to get comfortable with it.
Try
again.
going
I
back
was
to
like,
one.
oh, well, it's pretty much all the same control scheme.
No, it's
back
not.
then.
No, it's not. They got
One
better
thing I have
after
to
one.
say, for my own personal way of my dexterity is and stuff, I am so happy to be playing it with a mouse and keyboard. Because I'm just terrible when it comes to a joystick. When you have to do those precision jumps in Assassin's Creed 2, those tombs, especially the very last one, where you have to run through that entire segment in just one timer, I am so glad it had mouse and keyboard with that. Because when I tried that on joystick, I don't know how I did it the first time, but when I'm playing it again on the Ezio collection, I can't get through that. I have tried
it's
so many
something.
times. But then when I did it on the computer, I failed the first few times, but then I just canceled out the music in the game and just played on some of my own hype music from Spotify, and I just ran through that thing in just one try. But I tell you, it's so much easier with the mouse and keyboard in my own personal
You're
way
also
of playing.
you also primarily play on mouse and keyboard, so obviously that's gonna be like
Well,
easier, a better feel for you.
I didn't have a
Which
console
that's not a bad
until-
thing. That's not a bad thing. That's your preference. That's your preference.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't have a console until the year 2000, but I've been with the PC
Yeah.
since '89. So
Now, Battle, you're playing the original ports, or is it the Ezio trilogy that you are playing through?
it's
I can't
original
remember.
right now on Steam. They don't have the Ezio collection on Steam.
They have it on PS4.
Strix's point, I think what you do, if you start with the newer ones, I think you have a really hard time going backwards. You almost condemn the older ones when you start to play with the newer ones.
Yeah. So if you haven't
It's-
played any of the Assassin's Creed games, and you are curious even a little bit on the older games, just start with the older games. But if you're gonna start with the older games, skip 1 and go to 2.
Like I
Sorry,
played so much with Origins, and then I jumped into Assassin's Creed. I was trying to find the button to pull out the bow and arrow because I wanted.
Yep.
Yeah. Like you go in, like in the newer ones, it's more like hack and slash, kind of like Dark Souls esque.
Yeah.
Hell, there's some like Dark Souls like bosses in Odyssey and Valhalla. Like at least they feel like it, and that's not a combat gameplay like mechanic in the older games. So going from that to the older ones, it's if you really value like going through the older games and the story that they have and they tell, just go the long road and just go through the older games and then eventually work your way up to Origins, Odyssey, and Valhalla.
Well,
But
you're
at the,
just thinking
end of,
about.
at the end of the day, it's preference.
We were thinking about
That's
the
true.
bosses, though. Kind of reminds me of a thing that I did have kind of a gripe with the newer Assassin's Creeds. The assassination missions of your targets don't seem as assassin-like. I love sneaking up behind them
It's
and
because-
killing them right off their bat. But then when you're playing in Origins and Odyssey stuff, you have to do a long, drawn-out battle with them.
It's because stealth doesn't exist in the newer games.
Oh, it does. It does. I don't know what you're talking about. You
I
can
mean,
make it
in
happen.
Valhalla, it does not exist. Like,
It
I'll be
can't-
doing random
it-
stuff.
You have to
I have
make
more
it
fun clearing out the bases than I do fighting the targets in the newer games. Where in the older games, I had more fun taking out the main target. Except for the last one I was doing on Brotherhood that basically yesterday. Oh man, that was pissing me off.
But yeah, it was like it was missing that element from it in the newer era, I guess, because like the 2 through Revelations, all that, you could scale up the wall and pop them off, and like I felt like there was an element of stealth in it that is missing now. That's just my thoughts personally.
I mean, when the franchise, like, its whole premise was, like, we live in the shadows, like, they operate through stealth.
We are the hidden
And then
ones.
suddenly, what is stealth? On one hand, like, that is, like, the newer games, that's more like my style of gameplay. Which is, how did I play through 1 through, I don't know.
Yeah, no, don't get me wrong. I'm very grateful for the change that they did in Origins to this newer one, because like it did revitalize the
Yeah,
series.
but
'cause it was
fortunately,
I do
like
like the
they
new-
didn't make the
the new-
stealth like annoying. Like, they made it interesting and fun. But one thing I realized I didn't put on this list is there's been a lot of like villains in
Oh, no.
the series. What would you say is some of your like favorite villains?
I
For me,
said
it's
one
like
of them-
the Borgia. I'm done.
the Borgias.
Like what's his name? Roberto. Like from 2.
Oh, the guy who becomes the Spaniard.
Yeah. Like the main guy in 2.
It's like
Yeah, the one that-
Rodrigo or
Rodrigo,
something.
that's what it was. Like that
Yeah, the one that
man.
becomes a pope.
Yeah, like him. Just, I'm done. Like this.
One of the ones I have to say is one of my favorite though is the headmaster of Assassin's Creed 1, because it was just so.
He's a
when
bad guy.
when you
Spoilers.
first-
Oh no, 2007, whatever we did.
But it's just that it was such a shock when he suddenly when you get to reveal that he is the villain, and you're just like, oh my, because I thought at first it was gonna, as soon as you kill that one bald-headed guy at the end of Assassin's Creed 1, you think it's over, and they're like, you found out that he was just a pawn. There is the head guy. and
That
you're
was a
just-
nice twist.
It was, and it was. You had to kind of do a little bit of strategy fighting with him at first.
Quick, someone tell me who was the bad guy in Black Flag? I can't remember.
Not very memorable, apparently.
I
only
will say
ones I
I love the
remember
Cult
are
of
1 and
Cosmos
2.
in Odyssey.
No Cult of Cosmos.
I think the bounty is really, really like. I don't remember too many besides the boards. Just what you were talking about. I don't remember too many of the villains stood out a lot. But the whole, basically bounty hunting, the tree working your way to the middle is probably my favorite part. I love that. It made the game because they're everywhere.
And the
So it made the
clues too.
exploration of the game. Yeah, yeah.
The clues you had to pick up to figure out who it is and where they're at.
Yeah.
I kind of like that. It's kind of like a detective.
Yeah,
Well,
it made the
Valhalla kind of made it
exploration work.
easier than Odyssey did, but
A little bit.
I don't know why, but I just love the idea of
Cult
the
of-
Cult of Cosmos.
Took me over a year to hunt those people down.
Yeah,
That's probably what it's going to be with me when I start streaming Odyssey. It's probably going to be a year long event.
I was going to be a decade, and he'll only be halfway done.
The way I play games. I mean, I'm still. I started.
You haven't
Mass
even got
Effect.
to Mass Effect 3 yet.
No, I know. I'm still on Mass Effect 2.
I don't know.
Which,
like,
oh my god, why is that not-
Everything.
not
Every
on the
single
list?
planet you can scan, I read it out loud. I have my gaming.
You
way I
read
like the
every
game.
single codex.
If the developers wrote it and put it in the
Oh, yeah,
game,
he finds
I
it.
can at least take the time to read it.
And we are grateful to you for it. Because at least someone does.
Battle is the man that collects all 100 feathers in ACT.
Yep. I'm
Did you
that guy.
actually?
Well, I'm currently still working on that off stream, but once I finish it, I will stream because you do get an in cutscene when you grab all 100. That's the only reason why I want to do it is because you do get a scene.
Do a YouTube video out of it.
Yeah, more power to you, buddy. That's
Like,
it was not-
that, those and the flags in one, I was just like, no, I'm good.
Well, there's a mod, since I have it on PC, I could download a mod that makes the feathers bigger and brighter and have a kind of
okay.
a green tinge to them.
But
So,
that takes away...
Nate,
If the developer created it this way, you have to play it this way.
you would not believe on how my Fallout 4 and Skyrims have been modded to heck.
Those
I
are
have over
Bethesda
100
games. They're meant to be
I have over
modded.
100 mods on both of those games. They don't even resemble the original game
Those
anymore.
are Bethesda games. They are designed to be modded.
Yeah,
Well-
Bethesda games especially.
Still, I'm downloading modifying those feathers.
You see, I got him all riled up. I did that for a reason. Let's talk about movies, y'all.
Oh, hey, what about Least favorite assassin?
Least favorite, Connor. Next.
He said least favorite. Hey, fun fact. looked up
I'm
the
gonna.
list for,
I'm
gonna-
kidding.
I'm
I'm
gonna
kidding.
piss off Venom.
We're taking our
I'm gonna
take.
fin-
We're taking our time here.
I'm gonna piss off Venom. I have to say LTR.
Oh no!
I have
Oh,
now.
he's like, I don't want to be here anymore.
The thing that I have to say the least favorite about with him is just his outfit design. I just don't like
How-
it.
Kind of basic and generic.
It's just
Well, he's meant to blend. He's an assassin. He blends. He's not supposed to.
also his attitude at first. I know his attitude changes later on and he becomes less arrogant, but his attitude at first almost made me not want to play the game when I was first playing it.
I
Because
think
I didn't like his attitude.
I'm going to say one thing I'd like to touch on that, and it's not to the game's problem. It's the writers. That dialogue was bad.
It was bad, dog. I mean, the fight between that one guy that lost his arm and LTR seemed like a schoolroom bully.
Like, they tried too
Fight
hard
each
to
other.
make the dialogue era accurate, I feel like.
Yeah, a little bit.
Speak to me, friends. Tell me that which I wish to know.
2007. It was great dialogue.
Mass Effect, you're wrong. Mass Effect also.
2007.
Mass Effect came out in 2007, and you're wrong.
Much easier times, Nate. Much easier times.
Good times. I graduated high school in 07.
Oh man, we're old.
Can't you tell by the gray in my beard? How you doing?
Yep. Now, hey, you want to hear something funny though?
Weird.
There's a reason Borgia was number one because I looked up Assassin's Creed villains ranked. He was number one. That's why we remember him so well.
Go down that list. Go down that list. I want to hear this.
Oh, so Borgia is number one. Number two is actually Hatham.
From 3 or...
That'd be from 3, yeah.
That's what I was thinking.
That's because that one. 3 was Charles Lee, so that was in 3 too. 4 was Al Mualim from 1.
Yeah.
So. Oh, 5 was Maxwell Roth from Syndicate. So we're going.
I don't...
6 was George Washington from the DLC. 7 was the other Borgia, so from Brotherhood. 8 was Achilles, which played into Rogue.
wait,
And
what?
then- yeah, we're not going to talk about that.
You fight Brad Pitt?
Yep. 9
Is
was
there no one else?
9 was the bald guy from 1. I don't remember. Robert.
Yeah, Robert.
And
Robert.
then 10 was one of the guys from Unity, and that's their rankings on that.
I get
so,
the feeling that came out before like Origins, Odyssey, and Valhalla.
oh yeah, probably had to have. But that's what's funny is the Borgia Rodrigo was like the only one we all remember. So it's like,
Yeah, as you read that list, you can kind of tell how underwhelming a lot of the bosses are. Not only because
Yeah.
they try to stretch it so thin over the story, but they really don't make the impact that Borgia did.
yeah, it
I
was.
think that's
His
one
was
thing
the
about
only one. that-
Ubisoft in general. Like, they create amazing games, but the stories overall kind of don't really land.
Well, it's crazy because if you go to Far Cry, they have amazing villains.
They have
Yeah,
like
that's true.
you have Voss, you have Pagan, you have Castillo,
Steel.
and we're not talking about 5.
I love 5. What's
Shut
wrong
up.
with that one?
I
I know
hated
you
5.
don't like 5, Nate, but I love 5 mainly because the guns just sound so real.
There's no
Firing them.
inventory. There's no inventory management. There's no crafting.
What I hated most about 5, though,
It's
was-
a religious cult.
no, not for me on that. But what I had a problem with was the fact that you were basically a mute.
Yeah.
I mean, I could understand them not having a voice protagonist, but at least have a dialogue tree where you can at least say some things when somebody's talking to you. You're just like,
I hate games like that. I will say my favorite thing about 5 is the DLC because you can use the weapons in the main campaign.
Nate just loves the Seed family.
I will slap you. I will slap you. But I had the Mission to Mars DLC or whatever, and like I said, you can use them in the campaign.
That's when we played it. That's right.
Yeah, I had the alien weapons, the lasers, and they disintegrate everything you fight. But the problem with that is you can't loot them, so it's kind of. Although it doesn't matter,
Yeah,
because even if you did loot them, you ain't got any place to put it.
Bring those to Assassin's Creed. Laser gun. Pew pew.
Oh, I'll get to that in a minute. Can we talk about movies now?
No, that's like-
Battle?
oh my god.
What is his deathly opinion on this movie? Was it that bad, Battle?
He was messaging me in chat last night. Why the fuck did you make me watch this?
Oh no, that's not
You
I-
owe me 2 hours of my life back.
I hated that movie.
really.
I think the thing that really irritated me the most about it was mostly modern set. It was hardly. There was only maybe 40 minutes of him in the past, and about an hour, almost an hour 20 of him
Establishing the
in a
world.
modern time, and it's. And I didn't like how they did the Animus. I did not like that whole virtual reality on this big giant crane type thing, and they bring out the blades to put on his arms. It's like this doesn't seem like Assassin's Creed. It seems like they're trying to. It's just, I don't know.
It seems like a Dave and Buster's game.
I didn't like the changes that they made
Well,
to
that's
it.
that's one thing about video game movie adaptations, which
True.
that's coming next month. By
Which I have to say, Nate, is the reason why I don't want Mass Effect to be made into a movie.
the way, it needs to be a TV show.
What they need to do is they need to do the novels, because if they do
I have
the
those. I need to
main,
read them.
if they do the main story, there's going to be so many people saying this is not my Shepard.
Yeah,
This is not
there's
the way
one-
I play the game. This is not the way I wanted it to be done. So what they need to do is they just need to do the novels, do the David Anderson story, do
starring Keith David.
Miranda and Jacob of their time
No,
with the
no,
Quarians.
no.
He said no.
No, we're not talking about no.
Well, maybe make Jacob that
No.
he blows up at the end or something.
No, start of the movie. Boom, he's dead. Okay, next. Anyway,
He's like, that's it. No.
But
we need to play the Mass
I
Effect
just,
podcast.
I don't like the movie. I just didn't like the movie. I mean, it just they also changed around a lot of the elements
Well, here's
and
the-
stuff.
that's
because
the
it was
thing.
taking place during the time of Assassin's Creed 2. Yet they had the apple. How the hell did they get the apple?
Well, here's the thing. The video game, the movies that take place that are based off of video games, do not need to adapt the video games, verbatim.
No,
And
they
that's what I
don't.
like about Uncharted. That's what I like about, what was the one I saw? Assassin's Creed. They took the elements of the video games, the basic elements, and did their own thing with it.
Yeah.
And
I
while
never really
I
watched-
agree with you about the movie should have been more in the history side of it.
That's what I wanted. I wanted more of the history side. That's why
I agree that it was too modern heavy.
Yeah,
Because going
I have
back to my
say,
previous statement about the modern being my least favorite part about Assassin's Creed,
the historical part of the game was downright awesome, though. I mean, of the movie.
I was about to say I want to play
love
this game.
the parkour and stuff they were doing in that.
They nailed it.
They did. They nailed that part. I just didn't like the whole Templar part with the whole. It just characters of the
They
make it like these are the head.
They were going in the right direction, but
It's just some characters that you never heard of in the game, and they were suddenly in the movie. And they were supposed to be like the head.
yeah. I mean, it's like I said, they create creative liberty.
Now I have to say, yeah.
But they should have done what Lineage did, because
Lineage was
I
good.
watched that today, and I was blown away by how good it was.
That was dedication to the set design.
I remember watching it like when it first came out, and I was like, okay, this is pretty cool. But rewatching it now, I have so much more respect for it, because some of the actors actually look like their characters in the game.
Like the guy
Rodrigo
that
looks like
betrays them
Rodrigo.
all.
The one, I don't want to say it, but the
The
fat guy.
The first guy. Yeah, the first guy that you kill.
Yeah, like he looks just like him. And
Yes.
and you saw a bunch of Templars in it that are in the game, and they look just like their video game counterpart.
Now, Ezio didn't look much like him. Looked
Yeah,
a lot like
I didn't
Ezio.
I didn't like Ezio.
But the father,
Oh,
the mother,
well,
and
it-
the sister
yeah.
looked exactly like they do
And
in
the little
game.
brother,
Oh, the little brother was dead on.
and it had the Assassin's Creed feel, like stalking from above and just the city itself and everything. Like, it was really well done.
When I was watching him go across the rooftops, watching all that big progression of soldiers go by, that's exactly how it was. How I am in the game. I'm up on the rooftops and I'm just walking along, looking down
Yeah.
as they're walking. That was, and just the costume design too was just really well done.
They looked really good, and it kind of makes me sad because that came out around 2, I think. It might have been Brotherhood. I can't remember. I swear it might have been 2. But the fact that the studio put that much time into a small film like this as a marketing tool, we haven't gotten anything since then. Like, they've stopped trying with that. They've stopped with the TV shows, even though I think one's coming.
That's
the
one of the
Netflix
comics.
one's coming, isn't it?
Yeah, I
for
think it's
Assassin's
one on
Creed?
Netflix, isn't it?
Yeah, I'll be curious to see how they do with that.
Oh, I'm watching
That's
it.
what the
I'm watching it.
comments were saying on that YouTube video. One person was putting it, said, "This is when Ubisoft actually had pride in their franchise.
Nope.
When they actually cared more about it."
Yeah. Well, to double back into the movie, like I was one of the 5 people that liked it. I guess I'll have to rewatch it at some point.
How you doing, buddy?
I don't know if it was just the movie or if because I love Fassbender because
Well,
he's
I
awesome.
like the
Fassbender,
actor.
Jeremy
I
Irons.
just-
Yeah,
It
is
was
that too? But here's the
I mean, I
here's
said
my
what I-
here's the question I have. Like, would you have rather them try something off the wall like they did, or just like we're talking with Mass Effect, like, hey, we're gonna redo like 2 or 3 in a movie sense, and then make everybody mad because they couldn't have captured that probably as good as they wanted to.
They probably could have done 1 a little bit better than they could have done Ezio. Because 2 takes place over the span of 20 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a long time.
So
Which brings me to the thing I have to say about Embers when we get to there.
Venom, you got anything over here?
Well, I'm the worst movie critic because I pretty much will enjoy just about anything. So the movie itself, I thought was fine for what it was.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really put it in the same category with the games.
Yeah.
And then in terms
Maybe that's
of,
my problem. I'm trying to make it like the games, and that's why. I
Because you
hated
see
it.
the title
watched it,
Assassin's Creed and you expect it to be just like this.
I watched it with no intention of it relating to anything game related, and it makes it a lot more enjoyable if you do that.
Yeah. You go in expecting elements. You don't go in expecting full, finished products.
Right.
Maybe
Like
my
how
biggest
they,
gripe about it was just the fact of the equalization between the history part and the modern part.
It should have
should
been
have
more
done
history
less
focused.
modern.
I agree with that.
Maybe that's my main issue with it, was the fact that it was just too much modern.
Then you hated the Animus.
You mean you didn't like how they left it open at the end again? They're like, we're making a sequel. But
I will
no,
say
not
the
really.
ending felt rushed.
It
I
did.
do remember. I do
abruptly
remember
ended.
that. I do remember thinking that the ending felt kind of rushed. Like, really, that's the big climax at the end.
Or the end. Now, was that part of the end, or was there an after credits where they were like?
I don't-
"We're the
I watched
assassins"?
I watched the credits and there was nothing.
So it was actually the regular ending. But yeah, I thought it was kind of
It-
unique how they did that.
And I thought the Animus was, it was definitely different. Obviously, you expect lay comatose on a bed, but I liked
They had to
using,
make it interesting for the movie. They had to make it look more interactive for the movie.
because to me, using the Animus, like that kind of Animus, it because like the bleeding effect in the game,
but-
like where the person going into the Animus starts taking on like the physical abilities of
Yep.
their ancestor. This, like the Animus that they used in the movie, where you're actually doing the movements, kind of helps make the bleeding effect a little bit easier, I guess.
Be more realistic, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why I like about the Animus in the movie. I agree with you about, like, that's not how the Animus is, but the way the movie did it, I think it worked for a movie standpoint.
Yeah.
But again,
It's
that also adds to the too much modern day, because it did cut back and forth between history and modern.
Well,
Like,
part
even
of the
in
whole
the
modern
Animus.
thing was, it's been a while since I've watched it. I
He
was
watched
gonna
it yesterday,
rewatch
so he can
I
confirm
know.
or deny.
Is the how that modern day section, a lot of it actually tied into like what you would expect, but like flipping back and forth from his childhood, right? Like that was the big part of the modern day section.
Yeah.
It was like the big mystery as a kid or whatever. Like, hey,
Was
here's
his mom, his dad, because they were.
Because his dad was one of the
there, and-
prisoners, wasn't he?
Yes,
Yeah,
he
he was,
was.
Brendan Gleeson?
Yep.
Yeah.
And the blade that he used in the Animus was with the same blade that his father had.
Now, I forget,
Sorry.
was there any tie to any of the like previous Assassins at all, or was it all strictly original?
As
think it
far
was-
as I know, that
You watched
there
it
was
yesterday.
really there was hardly any reference to any. There was this whole Assassin's Creed. Nothing is true. Everything is permitted. Cutting off the finger, which I had an issue with at that point, because at that point they didn't do the fingers anymore. Because they didn't need that anymore. The blade was
what game was that? Where it was like, I'm just kidding.
Well, they
that
did
was
it out
the-
of principle, though,
Assassin's
didn't
Creed
they?
2. In Assassin's Creed 2, they said that was no longer needed. It said it used to be needed a blood sacrifice, but they said the
Was it
blade
2
has
that
been
did that?
redesigned. Yeah, because
you had Leonardo da Vinci.
'cause,
create the lights. Yeah.
Ezio's father didn't have the missing finger.
Yeah, but they did
And
that
so
in
with the-
Bayek, which that took
And
place
same
before.
with also Fox.
It started it.
The Fox didn't have it. But Shelley didn't have it. All the other assassins that were in Assassin's Creed 2, they all had all their fingers.
Yep.
So when they were cutting off his fingers, like, well, then I was thinking, well, maybe the Spain chapter still does it or something like that. Maybe they had the older blades. They didn't get the updated ones yet.
Okay, so this reminds me of something in Origins that I thought was just so far-fetched.
Uh-oh, what's up?
I don't know if I want to say this because it is kind of... it's not really spoilers, but it kind of is. The way they got the logo for the Assassin's, like,
Oh, okay. Yeah.
agency.
Yeah.
In Origins, Bayek is walking on the beach, and there's a bird skull in the sand. He picks it up, and this indention in the sand is the Assassin's Creed logo. And that's where it came from.
Hey, that's one of my all-time favorite scenes in all of the
Well,
series.
that's how the bird skull would be laying on the sand. Would actually look like.
I don't know. I don't know why that was such a turnoff for me. But I was like, really? That's where you got this from? And,
If you
like I'll
think
say,
about
it
they
makes
also-
sense.
Yeah.
Especially since it was a bird skull, so it could have been an eagle skull.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Just that felt weird to me. But going back to Origins and like the fingers thing, like that was a big part of Origins.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, no.
Didn't somebody still just do it out of principle?
I think they do.
Or-
Just
Somebody did. I can't remember what game it was in. He was
the
like,
old
you don't
ones
need to do
did this.
that.
Like, we don't do that anymore. What are you talking about?
Somebody was like, "Yeah, I still do that."
Wasn't it
Just for the
Valhalla?
fun.
Didn't they do that in Valhalla?
Well, I know in Valhalla that
Didn't they joke about it in Valhalla?
Yeah, well, they did when he first gives one of the hidden
Oh,
blades
yeah,
to
for
one of them.
Eivor.
He says he puts it on top. He's like, we wear it from the bottom. And he's like,
I don't want to lose my
I'm not
finger.
gonna make the same mistake you guys made. And they're like, we cut him off symbolically and stuff. And he was still like, I'm gonna keep it up here. I like the fact of having the blade from up on top.
Yeah, that's just Eivor's personality, though. He's like, I want my enemies to
I love
know.
Eivor. I love Eivor. So I want to hear something real quick, and it's from Venom.
Uh-oh.
Let's talk about unpopular opinions, because you said you had a good one.
Oh, I just have contradicting it, but actually, you guys have matched up to quite a bit of what I like. So I thought actually, it might not be as bad. I think Ezio is overrated for sure. I think he gets the most attention.
I can kind of see that.
No, that is true. He does get the most attention
He
when
was
they
good
should.
in one. Oh, no, he was good in 2, and I liked Brotherhood.
Hey, now,
Revelations.
Ezio's had the most
Pop culture.
impact in the series, considering they still used his theme song up until Odyssey.
He's also a playable character in Soul Calibur 5.
But I think he only qualifies for that because they gave him 3 games to do it. You could have given Altair 3 games.
I was about to say, in their defense, Altair was also a player in Revelations.
Yeah, that's true.
That was the big selling point. Like, the cover features Ezio and Altair. But
What I have to say
I
about
can
Ezio,
agree.
though, is what I have to say about Ezio is he's kind of a creep,
He's
Kind of.
especially in the beginning,
Oh, God.
sneaking up into women's rooms and basically flirt with every single woman. And when he's found that one woman, he's like, "My latest conquest," and they're like, "She's married to that guy," and he's like,
I do not care.
"So."
Hey, he matured.
And then also the fact too, now she was a lot older when they actually did get together, but in Revelations when he meets that one girl and they actually settle down together,
Mrs. Sophia?
she was born the year his family died. So he was already 18 when she was just born. Now of course they meet when she's like 30 and he's in his early 50s. Then
Bella with the hydrate.
It's not that big of an issue there, but I don't know. It just seems
I
kind
don't
of-
think age was as big a deal back then.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, think about it. How they said that some of those girls in that game, when they're 11, they get married off to somebody who's like 30 or 40 years old.
Yeah, no. We don't play that game.
History's a crazy
Yeah.
place.
Yeah. But
I don't know why we don't get more from. I know we're gonna transition to talk about Embers. I don't know why we don't get more from his daughter aspect. I guess she just kind of lived a regular life past that point.
Yeah, I know. I don't know what happens to her after all.
and he
after
named his daughter after Claudia, his sister.
Yeah,
And that's what I want to say too is how come we haven't got a China Assassin's Creed yet?
What that
kinda-
leads
you
to
kinda
the next
have.
point.
Yeah.
What do you want for the future games? Give me Japan.
Japan, China, and I also have to say something else that somebody once mentioned that I think might be really cool. A modern one, but
Nope. I'm out.
no, listen what I have to say.
Nope.
A modern one, but it's from someone in the future going through the Animus or whatever you want to do it that way.
You're talking
Doing
about
it that way.
So the Animus is in
modern-
the far future, like
Yeah.
the year 3000, and the Animus is in like 2023.
Yeah, something like that.
Oh, so you mean like someone coming back to relive Desmond's memories or something? Or
Yeah, but maybe not just
No,
Desmond, but
yeah,
that
but-
kind of time frame. Because you hear about the assassins were all
Or-
still around and everything, and I would love to be assassin running around with a machine gun. Because you hear them with machine guns. and
Well,
stuff,
canonically,
assassins.
it's
That
just Watch
sentence,
Dogs,
it just
isn't
feels
it?
like a contradiction. Like assassin within a machine gun. Like
Hey, that's what they were doing when they were attacking that facility in the first Assassin's Creed. You hear the gunfire going off. But or maybe give me a high-powered silent sniper rifle. That would be
That'd be
assassin.
better.
But
suited for an
isn't that just canonically Watch Dogs? What the modern day portion is, because they're in the same universe.
I know it.
Yeah, they
Probably.
are. Yeah, because there is an
Yeah.
Assassin's Creed crossover with the
Yeah, there
Legion.
is.
Yeah, because what's his face is
Speaking-
in Watch Dogs, or mentioned in Watch
Yeah,
Dogs. I guess.
speaking of crossover, I haven't played it.
Yeah.
Venom, have you played the crossover between Odyssey and Valhalla?
I started the DLC. It's in Valhalla, right? Technically.
It's both of them.
So I
Yeah.
started the DLC on Odyssey like a month ago, and I haven't gotten back to it because Elden Ring and other games have come out.
Yeah.
But it doesn't start what you think it would start to lead into a crossover. I guess I'd say.
I think.
But
I think.
I still have to finish it.
Yeah, I
Yeah, the
haven't touched it.
crossover portion doesn't actually even happen till Valhalla, so I don't know why they called it a crossover other than just.
But
the
you
fact
have to
that-
play Odyssey first to get to.
No, you don't even have to. Like, it has
Really?
no bearing on it at all. It's its own thing.
I thought you
I
had.
had.
I thought you had to. I thought like it started
you don't
in
even
Odyssey
have
and you
to.
had to. Oh.
That's
Yeah,
what I
well,
thought too.
Yeah, I wouldn't consider it a spoiler, but essentially, Alexios or Cassandra go on vacation.
Yep.
And they
That's-
meet
it leads
Eivor.
into it's a different island, but it's not near where they are, to my knowledge.
No,
They go
it's
on
not.
vacation and they set up a bunch of fake missions to make him or her feel important again. And it's not so far. It hasn't gathered anything that it's going to go farther than that. It could. You could run into a different character, but it
Well,
hasn't done
according
anything
to Big Abe, it sets up another crossover
It does. Yep, that's correct.
with the previous game.
But I can't remember if it was in that or in Valhalla. I think it would have to be in that because Valhalla's past that, so past Odyssey. So yeah.
I do like how the last three they kind of tie them all together, because what was Bayek's wife's name?
Aya?
Aya.
Aya.
Hey, she was
Aya.
one of my favorite
Aya
characters.
is
man.
the direct descendant of Cassandra, bloodline.
Is she?
Cassandra is her
Is that confirmed now?
super great grandmother. I don't know how many
Super
greats,
great.
but yeah, it's considered
Super
canon.
great.
That,
Yeah.
and I like how they kind of tie those things in together like that. Though I have to say, though, I did, from what I understand, from what I've seen with Odyssey, I don't like what they did with the DLC and my own my own social standings. Is how you can pretty much sleep with anybody in Odyssey, but in
Yes.
the DLC, you're basically were forced to have a opposite sex marriage. No matter who you decide to hook up with at the end of Odyssey gets totally changed in the DLC, because there had to be
Really?
a kid. There had to
Oh,
be
yeah,
a kid in
'cause it
order
was
for the
the,
bloodline to continue. So that's the one thing I have an issue with, is how they try to rewrite that. They could have made it like a political marriage or something, but no, it's supposed to be a romantic relationship, even though you hooked up with someone else in the original.
Well, the key thing with that is, and correct me if I'm wrong, like canonically, it's Cassandra. Like it's not Alexios at all. in any of the...
She is 100% like the marketing, like everything you see about Assassin's Creed Odyssey, it's her.
Yeah,
Like with all the trailers for the
Cassandra.
crossover, I haven't seen a single one of Alexios. It's
Me
always
neither.
Cassandra.
And
I
when I
don't
look
think you
online,
can.
when I look online, there's hardly anybody who plays Alexios. It's
Mhm.
always
Because when
Cassandra.
you look at the story,
Twice.
wait, what?
You
I
did?
did 100% of the game twice. 500
okay.
hours, mind you. 500 hours.
Whoa, man.
And then after the fact, figured out he wasn't canon. So
Oh yeah. No.
I
that's,
mean, when you look at the story, it just feels better with Alexios being. It feels more right with Cassandra being the main character.
yeah, I've not played through with her. I've been contemplating a third playthrough, but now as her, since she's the
You should.
Canon
I
character,
promise
yeah.
you're gonna love it.
it's good. I just like that.
I can't picture her as a bad guy.
Well, that's to say, I watched the videos. I didn't play through it with playing as Alexios, but her doing the same things that he does
I
as
can't picture
Demos.
it.
She rocks in with, holding the head and just throws it, and I'm like, Cassandra doesn't do that.
she plays a really good bad guy. Really good.
Does
bad guy.
she? I need to look those scenes up just to see how she is, because I love her like as the good person.
Yeah, it's
Again,
interesting.
with the scene with Phoebe, like just
Yeah.
Oh my heart.
But
But-
to be that broken record in terms of content for the future, and again, I'll be the broken record, but Altair lived till he was 92.
Yeah.
You got one game with very limited content. If you want to, I guess, reprise the role or restart the series,
Didn't he
per se,
spend most
I
of those
would-
years like guarding
Learning
something in a
about-
tomb though?
He said he was learning about. Well, he dedicated his life to learning more about the apples of Eden and all the content.
So he
Well, if you
spent.
read if you read those codexes in Assassin's Creed 2, they were all written by Altair because he did a lot of research afterwards.
which none of us did. So please educate us.
That'll tell us.
In the codexes, he talked about
Teach us,
how he
master.
researches the pieces of Eden. He was complimenting on where his master received these.
Unpopular
He
opinion:
started to
Assassin's
devote-
Creed sucks.
He started to devote his life into finding out where all these pieces were and how he cannot get the apple to work again. He said he wished that he was able to look at that map one more time to see where all the pieces were, but he couldn't get it to work again. But he spends all his time researching about the apple, the other objects, and there were some hidden parts in those codexes talking about how he came just back from another mission and stuff. So I would love to see him come back with Altair with maybe today's new control scheme, maybe open world set in that era, and him doing those missions trying to find the other pieces of Eden.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm gonna
You
just.
know what that will lead into, right? We got what, a 20, whatever the next anniversary is for one. I'm surprised they haven't remade it yet in the newer style.
Well, that's
No, I would love
one
a
thing. That's one
remaster.
thing. That's one thing I was going to bring up. I would like to see two things done. I would like to see a soft or a hard reboot of the franchise from the beginning, but with
Ooh.
like today's gameplay.
Oh man!
But take out the modern.
Oh, Assassin's Creed 2 with the new engine. Oh, that
Assassin's
that
Creed
would-
Brotherhood with today's engine, with that
Oh,
rebuilding
Brotherhood.
Rome.
Oh,
Hydrate, I see you. Also, Heroes,
that
of the-
was-
Heroes.
and also Bella redeemed unpopular opinion for all of us.
Oh Lord.
oh boy!
Bella, is that Assassin's Creed related or just in general? Because this could go,
Let's go anyway.
but I would like to see them realize, look, the modern day is not that great in the Assassin's Creed franchise.
Mm-hmm.
Give us an Assassin's Creed series where it's just going through like the historical time, like the times.
Yeah.
Assassin's Creed related.
I
I feel like we've
Don't-
touched on those.
don't know if this is an unpopular opinion, but I
Ezio
really
sucks.
like. I really like the first ones. Because I've
The first
always
ones?
I always liked
Are you
that
talking about the
sci-fi
Isu stuff?
Yes.
Oh,
I
and,
always liked
Origins?
that aspect of it, like with Origins and Atlantis and the pieces of Eden, who created them. Because I've always liked that sci-fi aspect that there might have been a civilization before ours. Because it could so easily be a possibility. Because if you look at how long the Earth has been, and if you look at how they've done studies, it only will take 10,000 years to wipe out any evidence of our existence here. After 10,000 years, everything will be wiped away by erosion, tectonic plates, earthquakes, volcanoes, weather effects. So maybe there could have been maybe another civilization before us. Maybe some dinosaurs were just a little bit more smarter than the average dinosaur.
You just
I mean,
have a
think about
T-Rex
the
walking
snake.
around. Nothing is true. Everything is permitted.
Assassin's Creed Dinos. All right,
Give
let's
me
go.
that game. Give me that game.
T-Rex with the hood on and everything. And
Yes.
the
Assassin's
hidden
Creed,
blade in
Jurassic
his little
Park.
arms.
Yes. Do it. No.
One of the T-Rex's arms got removed, so it's just a hidden blade.
Well, the lore of the game touches on that. The lore of the game says there was a civilization long before us.
Yes.
They got wiped out. Are we talking about
I-
one before that, or
No, just about that one. And I really
yeah,
like
that was
okay,
the,
okay.
Izu.
Yeah, about that one? Okay, I got you.
Yeah, I
so
always liked
give us a game
aspect.
series following that.
Yeah.
I think it
You
would
know?
be too future. It would be past, obviously, but I think it'd be too futuristic for you again. It was an advanced civilization. I think if you bring
Well,
back, a game
I
like
don't
that,
necessarily see a problem there, though.
Here's the thing with that. And I don't want to spoil anything, but Valhalla does that basically. Like, it does. Like, that's what the metaphor is for anyone that hasn't played it. It's pretty interesting too. Like, it really is that they did it that way.
The way they went about it.
Yeah, it's just an interesting take on it, and I'm sure Battle will love it when he gets to that. It's,
Oh yeah, because I always thought my sci-fi is always my favorite thing, but I love Assassin's Creed because of the whole sci-fi aspect of the first ones.
Mhm.
Because that's my opinion that I like to roll around in my head that's the Greek gods and the Egyptian gods were the first ones because they had the name that they. When you play the end of Assassin's Creed 2, she mentioned herself as being one of the gods, and he went, "You are gods," and she was pointing to all the other aspects that were there, like Io and Jupiter and Saturn. So,
yeah, I mean,
I
that
just
was the
pictured a nudist
culmination
wearing
in.
Assassin's Creed. outfit.
No, Nate, no.
And now I just want a mummy game.
Yeah, but no, it was the culmination of 3, pretty
we
much.
need more Egyptian-based games that are set back in the Egyptian times. I think that's a really overlooked area of games. We have Viking games, we got Greek games, we got samurai games, but
Hell,
we don't
two-
really have a
two-
lot of Egyptian games.
I was about to say 2 came out at the same time, but I was wrong. Immortals Phoenix Rising, which is like a Greek setting, came out at the same time as Valhalla. So,
Yep, it did.
but I think I agree with all that.
It's good.
Uh,
That's one unpopular opinion out of the way.
say it again for the people in the back. But I know we gotten a lot of like China is a spin-off game, but I like to see like a mainline Chinese setting.
Well, set it with the character that was in Embers.
Yeah.
Set it off with her when she went back in. Because if you read the novels in the comics, she did bring back the Assassin's Guild in China. She brought it back to full power again. So I'd love to have a game where you're actually playing her rebuilding the Brotherhood after she came back from being with Ezio.
Yeah, I could be wrong, but I'm actually asking: is she not one of the side scroller versions?
I'm looking that up right now.
I think
that
actually,
is.
I think it is, but I really
I'm
I
looking
really
it up
didn't
right
like the
now.
idea they were doing that. I mean, I keep it the way it's supposed to be
Yeah,
done.
there were so many
Don't-
games that came out on like PSP and stuff that were like, what? And when you look
Yeah.
at the list of games that came out, like the list of,
I would love a Japan one, a samurai.
bro,
That would be cool.
just Ghost of Tsushima, gimme.
Yeah, that was what everyone would tie it into
there
now.
is-
Like, hey, it's just
Yeah.
trying to do that.
Yeah, Altair's Chronicles, Bloodlines, where's
The one that tied into 3 was okay as a sideline game. I remember that.
Liberation.
she is the main character in the
Liberation?
China
Yeah.
game.
Okay. But yeah, but
The girl from
he's right,
Embers,
he's right. You
she
could make-
is the main character in the China game.
Yeah, you could make
But-
a more modern
Yeah,
game with her, I
make
guess, if you want.
make a what are the open world? Because China, is huge. It's a
Yeah, there's
big
China,
area,
there's India,
so-
and there's Russia, which I don't see us getting a Russian Assassin's Creed game.
Not anytime soon.
No, not right now.
Depending on how you set up the ending, maybe.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be.
But, and then obviously, I see us one of these days getting like a really futuristic one where the hidden blade is like a laser blade or something like that.
No, laser blade.
Star
Star Wars?
I was about to say, give me Assassin's Creed Reapers.
Reapers. Oh, God.
Give me a
That'd
Mass
be-
Effect Assassin's Creed crossover. Yes, please.
That'd be good. No.
But yeah.
Unpopular opinions. No, hey, I do have a question though, and I want to hear your all's thoughts on it because it's something I just kind of thought about. So, given how the older games were as far as like length and stuff, how they are now, do you think they could actually stretch a character out for 3 different games
Oh,
now,
absolutely.
where the older
Yeah.
games are like 30 hours versus now that you could sink in 100 hours plus in a game?
Hell, do a prequel to Altair, like showing his growth and his start in the Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, prequel.
Because
and then
because
wind up
in
him
the
after.
first game he's got a reputation. I want to see how he got that reputation.
He was
Yeah.
brash and arrogant.
It's like, how many wars did this man start? Can we see that?
Yeah, prequel, and then afterwards.
Oops, did I just accidentally a war?
And then a second one of him after he kills the headmaster and becomes the headmaster himself.
Mm-hmm.
Those missions he did, his search for the pieces of Eden.
Can
And
we
you don't
like,
even
you
have
know-
to add. And for the prequel, for that, you don't even have to do the Animus part with it. For those, definitely, you could just do those as a standalone.
Can we just do away with the
Assassins.
Animus entirely?
Get rid of the Animus entirely.
Yeah, they need
I'm sorry,
to.
that is my
It's-
stance on Assassin's Creed. Get rid of the Animus. Get rid of the modern day
Now,
story.
I have to say, I really wish the Animus was a true thing.
That would be interesting.
I would love to go into one of my ancestors' boots and see what they've done in their time, especially.
This is one thing I've always wondered. Like, when you go into the Animus, are you just living vicariously through them, or are you actually doing the movements and
Well, I
saying the
always wonder
things
because
that they say?
I think it's you're controlling them because you always have that time that happens where it says Ezio would never kill a civilian as you're stabbing a person right through
Yeah,
the
but
neck.
like, how would, like, say you go into the Animus for the first time in your entire life, and you're controlling Ezio. Just work for me here.
Mhm.
How would you know who to talk to?
And what to say?
How would
What
you
they
know
did, yeah.
who's who? Like, you see a cute girl, hey baby, how you doing? I'm your sister. What?
Oh no.
You know, it's like, and can you imagine, like, speaking back then, but it's you, so you're using modern day slang?
No, I get that.
Like, shit, I don't have a cell phone. What's a cell phone? You know?
Yeah,
So
that's
I'm
what I
wondering
have to-
if it's just you're mentally there, experiencing everything they did.
Like that's
that's
at
what
the
I
same
like to think
time-
of it as.
Like, Desmond is taking on, like, their physical abilities, like the climbing and the eagle vision. So he's using it somehow. So is
That's
it a bit
also
of
another-
both?
That's also another thing in the game that never really fully explained is how did the first ones know that Desmond was going to be there? Because she talks directly to Desmond at the end of Assassin's Creed 2. I mean, she looks past Ezio to
Yeah.
Desmond, and you're just thinking, okay, how did she knew that was going to happen? I mean, I know they're an advanced race, but they're not
Who's
actual
Desmond?
gods.
What the fuck?
Yeah, he's like, Desmond, who's Desmond? He's like, there's no one else here.
Yeah.
She went, I'm not talking to you. He was like, well, excuse me.
It was like she
sorry.
knew he was in there.
Sorry, Mommy.
I feel so bad for Ezio at that part. He had all these questions, and she just talked to someone else, and then disappeared. And you're just like, he's like, wait, I have questions.
They're not for you to
Please.
answer. Oh. But
But I would love if the Animus was a real thing, but I know that scientifically we do not have genetic memories in our DNA.
I just want time travel so I can go see dinosaurs.
Dinosaur DNA for Nate. Go watch this T-Rex.
Oh, bro, with my photography, because I've learned, and I've come to realize that my photography is not so much for, like, people, it's for, like, things.
Mm.
So, give me a camera and send me back in time. We want you to go photograph some dinosaurs. Can do. I would have been all over that Lost World Jurassic Park mission.
Remember, don't step on anything, though.
This is not the
Don't
sound of
yeah.
thunder.
Yeah,
This is
don't do
not
that.
the sound of thunder, okay?
Yep.
Down of Thunder, though, is historically, it's scientifically a very possible theory that can actually happen if you do something like that.
That's just
'Cause-
taking time travel, like, the whole butterfly effect, like, just...
Well, it depends
Believe
on the
me.
type of time travel too. Like
If
know,
you're going
like-
back in time and
You
you're...
kill a butterfly, you then kill the lizard. That lizard would have fed a fox, which the fox died, which would have probably fed a primate, which the primate was your ancestor that died. And now you're no longer.
It's your
born.
Uncle Jeffrey.
Yep, exactly.
Do you think the series would have gotten as popular as it is if parkour wasn't as popular as it was?
I don't think so. I think the series, the reason why it got so popular is at that time is when parkour was really starting to become a big cultural thing.
Yeah.
I think if parkour wasn't really that big, I think Assassin's Creed would have still been alright, but not as popular as it is now.
Yeah.
Well, didn't
That
it
was
even?
the main selling point of the game was the parkour you can do.
I was like, didn't it just start as a remake of Prince of Persia, like when they were trying to redo it?
That was
and
the
then they
whole
were like,
pitch for it.
That
Yeah.
was what the first Assassin's Creed was going to be, was a Prince of Persia remake. And they decided to make it its own franchise, but the parkour was always the big selling point of the game. Jumping across all those
Too bad the
beams
controls
and all
sucked
that.
back then.
Oh, the clipping. Oh.
I mean, I got clips already on my channel of some of the bad effects that happens, like especially when
I will say
when I was doing the Michael
saving
Jackson
grace
up the
of the
up the
parkour
ladder.
in Assassin's Creed is the third person. Because, like, look at Dying Light. It's a parkour game, but it's first person.
I didn't like that, man. I didn't like it.
I finished the first game, like the story, but
The parkour has to be done third person. You need to see what's actually ahead and what's behind you.
yeah,
it's
I
hard
did
to
not
do
like.
first
I
person.
did not like that element of Dying Light at all, and I'm probably not going to hydrate. Well, I am going to hydrate, but I'm not going to play Dying Light 2.
No. Hydration.
But yeah, I am so glad this got stretched out as much as it did, because with the way we were going, we were going to be done with this in an hour. So
No, it's good, man. It's the way it goes.
this was
The
was good. So,
Is anyone excited for the Infinity or whatever they're going
Oh.
to call it?
Yeah, I'm curious to see. I'd like to see that be a game they continue to add
isn't
on
it
to
supposed to
over
be
time.
just like a strictly MMO type thing?
It's supposed to be not like an ever expanding. So like they could drop a pack for Ezio, or they could revisit things and it not have to be its own game.
Because
that
it
What
was
are we
supposed
talking about? They're doing something else.
The next big expansion, or the next big game, Infinite, or whatever they're going to call it.
Assassin's Creed Infinite. So like you said,
Is
like
it
an
Infinite?
ever expansive
Or
evolving world.
No, this is hold on.
That would be the perfect thing to put the Altair stuff in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they could do that.
I don't
Infinity.
need a new game every year. I need a game that you can constantly evolve and work in new stuff.
It's a
So
live
I'm
service
totally
game
fine.
that looks to break away from the mold of normal AC games.
Yep.
As such, Infinity looks to be set over multiple periods of time, and players
Yep.
will be able to jump back and forth between them.
Oh, so that means no, Bella, I had dinner beforehand.
Oh, cool. So you
planned
can
ahead.
stay here all night. Cool. Sweet. Love it.
Which means they could do more crossovers in the future too,
Yeah.
for the eras that would allow it. I'm trying to think of any that would, other than.
It sounds like they're going to take out the whole Animus modern part out of it.
Which cool. Can we do that in a modern game, please?
He said, "Do it." That's okay. Nate's excited for the other game
I
this
will
year.
slap you. I will slap you. That is probably going to be a game I'm skipping.
What game?
Spoilers for Valhalla. Big spoilers for Valhalla.
Oh, okay.
Really big spoilers.
Bullshit. It's not big spoilers.
No, it's just that one character. Like it's.
We can't talk about what the game is without spoiling Valhalla. That makes it a spoiler.
Yeah, but now I'm curious.
Well, it's going to be prequel-ish, so like.
No, it's not. It's going to be modern.
You sure?
That's what I understood.
Oh no, it's not. Oh no, I'm not going to say anything specific, but I know it was supposed to be pre-Valhalla, so.
I understood it as post, so we're about to...
Oh, well, definitely find out for sure.
Is there Assassin's Creed content coming this year besides that Ragnarok?
No.
DLC?
This is supposed to be next year's game, but I think this is going to be... It was supposed to come out in, like, holiday, but I think they pushed it back to, like, February or March or something.
Okay.
Yeah. It'll be the stopgap between that and Infinite.
Planning to release a smaller scale, stealth-focused Assassin's Creed game later this year or in 2023.
Yeah.
And we're not going to say who the character is. But, wait.
Yeah.
Collaboration, don't care.
Now I could be wrong. I thought it was going to be pre-Valhalla, but maybe I read that wrong.
Things.
That's why I was like, oh, I have no interest in that. If that's what it is.
Oh, okay, I found it. Oh, it's talking about. Okay.
Well, he doesn't know.
I mean, I could have told you it after the thing, but how that becomes a thing is just bizarre to me, and I don't really like it.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Battle's over here like, now I'm curious. Don't worry about it.
Like, couple things. Should I open up Google right here?
Spoil this game that I'm gonna play in like 5 years.
Yeah, I know. That's what I was saying to my brother. I was saying I was going to do Assassin's Creed 1, and there'll probably be like 6 other Assassin's Creeds that'll come out by the time I get to at least Valhalla.
Yeah.
Because I have a feeling Odyssey is going to be one of my longest. Origins I played through once already, so I think I really don't know if I want to do the DLCs of Origins.
Okay, you do the first one. Not
Maybe
the
the
second
hidden ones. That DLC I liked, but I did not like.
I didn't finish it.
Curse of the Pharaoh. I didn't finish Curse of the Pharaoh.
I didn't bring that point up. Did y'all play any of the DLCs for the games?
I can't get through Curse of the Pharaohs. It's just constantly jumping back and forth in those other realms. It's just
I didn't like it.
It's so.
Has anyone played the Odyssey DLC? I legit am curious about those.
All of them 100% yes.
Are they good?
Yes. They take place without spoiling. You get different eras of Greece again. This goes back to Greek mythology. So you get Hades. You get it's been like a year since I played them. You get 3 different Elysium, and what's the other one?
It's there's 3 of them, right? It's the Fall of Atlantis, the First
Atlantis,
Blade.
Yeah. So yeah, Atlantis.
And
so it's Aquaman. Okay, cool.
Yeah, but you get access to basically more Greek mythology areas that allow you to go and do more, and they kind of interconnect the story of why this character was doing this or who did what. But they're just basically brand new areas set.
I will say the Valhalla DLC, both of them are actually really, really good.
I don't know Valhalla. I don't know about Valhalla though.
There was
the Druids.
Wrath of the Druids, which was excellent, and that had the big Dark Souls boss. Siege of Paris was a little lackluster, but it wasn't by any means bad. I think the part that ruined it for me was the premiere of single-handed swords in Valhalla, and they weren't as good as I was hoping they would be.
Yeah.
I just stick with my big sword, not just cut people down. But I haven't played the DLC for 3. Believe it or not, I don't think I played the DLC for Black Flag. The Freedom's Cry.
I like that one a lot, actually.
I hear it's really good. You play as his right-hand man.
Yeah. Yep.
And Wally, I think his name is.
Yeah.
You know what else had a good DLC? And again, I don't know if anyone else has played this. Was Unity's the Dead Kings DLC? Very good.
Yep. I don't remember it, but I know it was good.
It was very good.
Assassin's Creed is amazing. Wait, what? I know. I forgot. I'm sorry. I slacked. I forgot to do things. I'm new to this. Okay, forgive me. It's my first time. First time on the job. Okay. I'll learn as I go. Yeah, I forgot to do the guests little tab so people could follow y'all.
Oh.
Which I forgot to do the introduction too, so I feel bad about that.
Well, we could do it at the end here.
You mean the outro?
The outro.
Hey, these are 3 friends who y'all probably don't know who they are. Would you like to introduce yourselves at the end of the show?
Ta-da, folks.
I promise I will get the podcasting down. It's a learning experience. I'm trying.
Yeah.
It's your fault why I can't say the word.
Okay, so 2 hours into the podcast, now we're going to do introductions, then we'll start talking.
The real Codpast begins now.
Oh, yeah. So Assassin's Creed, guys.
I don't think my wife would like that idea.
I don't think she would either. So,
because she's right now isolated herself in another room right now because she doesn't want to be on camera, and I don't think she wants to be spending the whole night on there.
Well, say hi and then say bye, and you can go be with your wifey.
I'm not leaving.
He's staying the whole time. We're here to stay, Nate. We're here to stay.
Okay, fine. Y'all can be a part of the Nuzlocke. Oh god, that'd be fun. Just playing through Nuzlocke and y'all saying, do this, do this. Well, you fucked. What? But in all seriousness, digs and heels, I'm not leaving. But for those who don't know who these lovely gentlemen are, would you like to introduce yourselves, starting with Battle?
I'm BattleWolf527. My real name, I don't mind saying on stream. My real name is Daniel, but I like being called Dan.
Oh, Danny boy.
Nate and I have been friends since 2005.
We met on
met on-
MySpace.
Yep,
MySpace.
Anybody remember
Whoa.
that?
Yeah.
But we
Was he
met
your
on
top friend?
MySpace, and I don't think we've actually become as good as friends as we have in this past year.
Like
since I started
we've been
streaming.
friends. Like we would talk on and off, like through posts, but we haven't actually had a full-on conversation. We met on a Ted Decker group page that I think he started.
I started it, and I sent a request to you for you to join because I saw that Ted Decker was one of your favorite artists
And I joined
writers. So
I joined because back then he was my favorite
did.
author.
yeah,
And for those who
And,
don't know who Ted Decker is, he's a Christian fiction author. And his earlier books are so freaking good.
yo,
I say that because I haven't read anything since since Adam. Adam was the last book I read.
same here. But I have started streaming back in Labor Day weekend. Something I was been wanting to do for a long time. I started streaming, and Nate, Shrex, and Bella were my first three people that really helped push me through. And I'm now an affiliate, and I've already passed over 100 followers, and I'm hoping just to continue
Great
on
success.
from there. What?
I said great success.
Oh, I was like,
Why?
what the hell was that?
I said great success.
You said that like 2 seconds. I was like, what?
I talk fast, I'm sorry. So, what do you stream, buddy?
I stream.
Oh, we're going on that now.
things
This is
I
becoming a
like
full-on interview now.
I stream mostly single-player, story-driven games like
Man after my own
Assassin's
heart.
Creed, Mass Effect, Outer Worlds. I've also do some adventure games, like the Star Trek 25th Anniversary, Star Trek Judgment Rights.
There's a game that you play that I swear I'm
Quest
doing on
games.
here, and I don't care.
Did I stand Aftermath?
That game looked so fun.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite games right now that I play. It's every time I think I'm reaching near the end of that game, it just continues on more. There's just more and more and more, and that's one of my favorite games. There's not much of a big storyline in it, but the gameplay.
I'm
is
not
just
much
downright
on like
fun.
top-down games, but that game it looks fun.
It is. But I play mostly. I don't really play any multiplayer games. There will be a few co-ops I might play, like with my brother, with like Stardew Valley, Viscera Cleanup Detail, and we've been talking about maybe starting up a Chiaria playthrough together. But other than that, I don't really like playing multiplayer. You'll never see me playing Battlefield games, Call of Duty, Overwatch. I wouldn't be playing those.
Bro. I see you. And they went to Chow and Fox. You know what time it is. But anyway. Battle, it's lovely to have you here. I'm happy to finally
I'm
have
glad
you
to
on
be
a
here
podcast.
finally. Yeah.
Venom. We haven't heard a whole lot from you.
No, I've talked plenty.
You talked.
We
some.
done made him mad because.
He said all players suck.
Oh, it's Battle's fault. I don't want to follow Battle. I'm gonna go and follow you right now.
Yeah.
All right, fine. I'll just.
Hey, my name is We Two Are Venom. I started streaming in 2022, right? April of 2020. Started out as a hobby during COVID. Couldn't challenge myself at work, so I decided to get into it with the help of a couple of buddies who kind of got me into the PC world. It's been an awesome adventure. I've met a lot of
PC
really
Master
cool
Race.
people. Yeah. I've met a lot of really cool people, made a lot of really cool friends who I'd probably consider better friends now than I do people I talk to in real life. regularly.
Right?
So, I mean, it's been a really cool way to just talk to people who have similar interests, in different interests. But games we play, a little bit of everything. I'm all over the place. We do play multiplayer games, COD, Apex. We're going to go into favorite game series of all time. Metal Gear Solid, Gears of War, Halo, games like that. We actually started, as it's funny that we would talk about it on this Codpast.
I'll tell you why it's called that here in a minute.
Yeah, well, see, I always mess it up now. I have to pause before I say the word thanks to you.
I'll tell you why it's like that in a minute.
Yeah.
And you're gonna laugh at
I'll be
me.
right back in a second here.
Yeah. I started streaming. Originally, the first game I ever started streaming was Assassin's Creed Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Streamed that, met a lot of really cool people, and just have been fortunate to have come across some great people. But no, if you ever want to check out anything or everything or anything or everything,
You can do the exclamation mark guests, and you will get links to everyone who's in this call.
and it's
And
just
go please go follow every single one of these guys. They are amazing people. Love their faces. So happy to have them
Shiny Dialga.
involved in this.
No Shiny Dialga for me.
I saw some of that. Like, you are just
2,000 resets. Never got a Shiny Dialga.
Ooh, man.
But
Big
no,
Eight?
that's pretty much it.
Okay. Do you mind your name being said on stream, or do you want people just
Who,
calling you King
Venom
Kong?
or
You.
me or him?
I know your name. I don't know Venom's name. I call him Venom.
Oh, I mean,
I like calling him Venom unless he wants me to call him something else.
I don't care what you. Yeah.
he don't care. I don't care if you call me by my name.
Okay, Dakota, you're next.
Battle found me on Facebook the other day, and I was like, oh, cool.
Well, because we tag each other in so much shit.
I was like, how did he know that was me? No, but I think I have that stuff posted. For those of you that don't know, Nate said my real name is Dakota, but I go by Big Ape 93. I am actually the new kid on the block when it
Venom
comes
Sweet
to
Gates.
streaming. I've been wanting to do this for quite a while. Nate finally got me over the hump for that. He said, hey, just do it. Just do it. You'll enjoy it. And I've enjoyed every little bit of it
I became
so
Shia
far.
LaBeouf. Just do it.
Yeah, he did say just do it. I got the equipment set up, been having some fun with it. It's a blast. I know it's not the ideal market. I deal mainly with the older stuff, retro stuff, to me anyway. I know retro to battle might be a little different, but
Yeah, he's over there playing Atari, playing Gallagher.
no, but that's what it is. You know, set out the small goals. That's my goal currently, to get to this affiliate thing at some point. You know, it's part-time for me. You can catch me on Saturday and Sundays mainly, but we have a good time, and I appreciate Nate every bit for having us on here.
Oh yeah, and while you're talking, you owe me 2 cards, top or bottom, for the gifted subs.
Top bottom.
Okay, top
Let's see.
3.
Give him a bad one.
8. No bean for me. And you said bottom is your next one?
Yes.
Oh god. Oh god.
Yes.
5. That's a bean.
Yes.
But yeah,
Evil bean.
you know what? No, I'm going to.
But yeah, no, that's that. And then as far as I don't have no crazy stories about knowing Nate. I know we've known each
I
other
hijacked
about,
your
so-
panel. What are you talking about?
Oh no, so
I
we've known
hijacked your
each
panel
other,
on accident.
What, about 10 years now almost? Which
Oh
is
god,
crazy.
is it really?
That's 9 or 10 years almost. So
It was
I went
2014,
down-
so about 8.
well, close enough. Whatever. It's Anime Blues Con in Memphis down there. I help run panels every so often, and this
It was
jolly fellow came.
It was my first anime convention ever. I meet him. I don't know how we started talking, but he said he had a Dragon Ball panel the next day, so I was like, I'm going to be there.
Yep.
And the next day, I'm standing on the stage. I'm just talking to him. And the girl running the, in charge of, all the panels and shit, says, okay, is it just the 2 of you doing the panels? I'm like, This man says, yeah, it's both of us. I said, okay.
Hey, you know.
And
one thing-
I hijacked the hell out of that panel. And I made the best Dragon Ball joke. And in a room full of Dragon Ball fans, nobody got it. And I just wanted to die.
Yeah, it wasn't very good.
Not
Now
my
that's the
fault.
Codpast I'm
The
ready
joke
for.
was good, but they didn't get it. But at the, like, for the panels, I'll tell the story real quick. For the panels, they had people walking around with, like, big flyers that said 5 minutes left.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, we're doing our thing, blah, blah, blah. I'm doing a lot of Team 4-star voices because I'm unoriginal. And she comes in and holds up the sign, 5 minutes left. And I read it, 5 minutes left. And on that day, the biggest lie in anime history was told. And the room was quiet.
They didn't get it at all.
Never mind the fact we went on like a 10-minute talk about Frieza. Also, I don't know what
Yeah.
this one is, but I'm about to go, ow.
Go for it. Oh,
But-
Nate, that's the Codpast we're ready for.
That
That'll
is
be
sausage.
High.
Oh my god.
Is
Also-
it good?
No, this is bad.
No, not good. You were sounding like it was good there for a second.
No, I'm talking about the Dragon Ball podcast.
Oh, you said sausage, then good.
No, my brain goes a million miles an hour, dude. Okay, I have
No,
like
I
10
get it.
thoughts at the same time, and sometimes I talk about both of them in the same sentence. But
That will be a good one.
I'm needing to plan that. I kind of sort of want that to be the next one.
Oh, Bella's very angry at those poor con people.
Yeah. But the reason this is called the Codpast, again, it's mild dyslexia. I think I was in a group chat with Bella and Shady and some other people, and I said I wanted to do a podcast. Nate's two brain cells fight each other. Perfect. I mean, what?
Oh, no.
And I went to go say podcast, and it's funny because we were trying to figure out like a clever name for it because I didn't want it to be just like Nate's podcast, and I said Codpast, not even thinking about it, and someone goes, "Wait, what did you say? Podcast? No, you said Codpast. Did I? That's what it's called now. It's the Codpast, and ever since then, it's stuck. And I've had multiple people, not just you, Venom, say every time they go to say podcast, they have to stop and say podcast because Codpast.
Yep.
So I'm like, I had an impact.
You had
That's
a
how
negative
when I'm
impact.
typing. When I'm typing down podcast, I keep on typing down Codpast.
Yep.
Yeah.
I did something. I don't know if it's a good thing, but I did it. But with all that being said, guys, thank you all so much for joining me on this. I really appreciate y'all taking the
Yes,
time
sir.
to sit down with me and talk about all things Assassin's Creed. I hope you had fun. Is there anything you would like to plug? Anything you would like to say, hey, I'm doing this, you should come say hi? Or just because this is your moment to self-promote? Go.
Anybody?
Just thanks for having me. This is my first ever podcast.
I'm your
Podcast.
first. I'm so
Yeah,
happy.
the first one I've ever done. So it was a good learning experience, and I appreciate the invite, sir. I really do.
Absolutely. Definitely going to have you on in the future. Chaotic Sanctuary Sermons. Oh.
Oh, Lord. Strix, what have you done?
We're going to talk. But yeah, thank you guys so much for being a part of this. I appreciate it.
Of course, it's fun.
We'll definitely have you
absolutely.
on again in the future in some capacity. Who's going to end the show? Oh yeah. I forgot about that. Mainly because Battle went on his rant in the middle of it.
What?
Because of Heroes on my Disney one, we like to end the podcasts. Excuse me, Codpasts. We're fancy here. With a rant of some capacity. So does anyone have a rant related to this topic that they would just like to go on for like a minute? Maybe
I feel like we
kind of-
did that already.
That's what I'm saying,
Yeah.
but it's tradition. Bella says so. I'm just bringing it up.
Oh, man.
Battle already did it. That's what I'm saying, but Bella said it, so I have to.
Stop that. Strix, run away, Strix.
But no, guys, thank you all so much for coming. This was great. I'm not entirely sure what the next Codpast will be.
Mhm.
I know I've got 2 planned for next month, and one of them I'm not even sure I'm worthy enough to do it. One of them I know I got.
Oh yeah.
And I'm going to go ahead and say, since y'all are here, who wants to be a part of video game movie adaptations?
Ooh.
Where we talk about from like Super Mario Brothers to
Oh, no.
Uncharted.
Not Super Mario Brothers.
And we can talk about how, like, which Mortal Kombat is superior.
Okay, that'd be good, but the Super Mario Bros? No, not that abomination.
So if anyone wants to be a part of it, let me know. But
It had John Leguizamo in it. It was good. It was good.
I
Only
like to
things-
be, and that
it had Bruno in it.
I have some opinions, but that might be good.
But yeah, I mean, that's one that I definitely want to do. Yeah. I know Dakota's going to be in my Dragon Ball one eventually.
Yeah, Dragon Ball one. Count me in.
I need to figure out people to be on that. Oh yeah, I'm supposed to look up to Monster Hunter. Yeah.
You
I mean,
don't look
I
towards
have-
me. I don't know anything about Dragon Ball except just basic names, and that's about it.
I've
Yeah.
never watched it either. Yeah.
This is
Oh
fine.
no!
This is fine. I mean,
My wife, now, on the other hand, she's seen a lot of the early stuff.
Bring on Mrs. Battle then.
That.
Oh, she will not come on camera. No.
Oh, that podcast is going to get heated. Oh, Venom, why do you hate me?
Which one's gonna get heated?
Dragon Ball.
Oh yeah, it'll be
It's going to get fun. You know what we need to do?
Oh man.
You know what I need to do? I need to host a podcast for Venom and Shady to just go on a Naruto just spill.
Yeah.
And I'll be here like, okay,
It's good, but I mean like
believe it.
you wouldn't have any of that without Dragon Ball, so
And then we could talk about why Yu Yu Hakusho is one of the best anime ever made. What? But anyway, I'm gonna let
Now
y'all
this-
go do whatever y'all need to do. Whatever. I'm gonna continue my Pokemon Nuzlocke here in a minute. So for those in
go
the chat,
eat dinner.
well, did I keep you from eating? I'm so sorry, honey. Go eat.
That's fine. I'm used to eating at 10:30 at night.
You just need anime podcasts in general. That is a topic, but Dragon Ball is so vast and means so much to me. It gets its own podcast. Anime is on the list, and I do plan to figure out when to do that one.
You know what you should do, Nate, and I don't want you to push that one back unless you split it up. You should just wait for the movie and then do it then.
The new one.
And I'd be like, oh, that was awful, or that was the greatest thing ever.
I just ate and it's 4 a.m. Also, Christopher and Alyssa, hi. That is the idea, actually. To maybe do it during, like, when that movie comes out here. So it's probably going to be an August podcast, I predict.
Or you could split it up. Well, no, you could do Dragon Ball and Super, but that would be impossible to do, probably.
It'd be 5 minutes. Super sucks next. But anyway, we'll talk about that later. Right now, y'all go rest, go eat, go do whatever. And if you want to hang out and watch me potentially lose Pokemon, that's cool too.
Lose all the Pokemon.
We're going to take a brief break. I'm going to switch over and do kind of get everything set up for the game. And this has been the Chaotic Codpast. So hope y'all had fun. And yeah, we'll see y'all in about 5. Well, I say 5 minutes. It's not going to be 5 minutes. But I'll see y'all in a few minutes. So see you in a bit.
Take
Thank
care,
you
guys.
guys.